I won!
That's a good play!
Since 1974, the Rhode Island Lottery has paid over $57 billion in prizes and contributed over $8 billion to Rhode Island's general fund. Your Rhode Island Lottery, a good play for 50 years and counting.
After rain came through the area Sunday night into Monday morning, that made the playing conditions here at Cardines Field unplayable. So last night's regular season finale against Mystic was pushed back to today. And that's why the sun is out a little bit here at Cardines Field. And we are ready for a Tuesday matinee to wrap up the 2024 regular season as the Newport Gulls welcome in the Mystic Schooners for a 1 o'clock, 7-inning game here in Newport. Welcome to Cardines Field. I'm Sam Reese. This is the Newport Gulls pregame show. Newport found out about an hour ago that it has officially locked in the 2 seed after the league announced their trip to Vermont will not happen tomorrow. So standings-wise, this game doesn't impact Newport, but they're hoping to roll in with some momentum into the playoffs. Their opponent, Mystic, on the other hand, plenty to play for still. They clinch a playoff spot with a win tonight. So still plenty at stake. It's the Gulls and the Schooners, and we've got plenty coming up on the Newport Gulls pregame show. Stick around. We're back here on the Newport Gulls pregame show. I'm Sam Reese, and Brendan Locke has appeared to my left. Brendan, great to be with you as always.
How are you, Sam?
I'm doing great. Proper handshake here. Brendan, one of the media interns here with the Gulls. Can you talk about what your role is here with Newport, what your experience has been like as well throughout the summer?
The experience has been unbelievable. Wouldn't trade it for anything. Got a great group of guys, plus Danielle in the media squad. And I just kind of do whatever our lovely boss, Mikey Basile, tells me to. It ranges a whole myriad of different things, going about the stadium, doing different things. Sometimes I'm down below in production. Sometimes I'm looking very handsome in a suit like this. Thank you. You as well.
You more.
And wherever they need me, I'm the ultimate team player.
Ultimate team player. We love to hear that, and I can echo that sentiment. Brendan's been great throughout the summer to work with. Can you talk as well about where you're going to college, what your future plans are, and how you're using this experience maybe to help you in terms of where you want to take your career going forward?
Yeah, I'm going to UMass Boston next year, and from just north of Boston, and so, we'll figure it out. We have a couple of plans in the winter for doing some play-by-play stuff, taking your spot over maybe, and we'll see what happens. Just playing it by year, playing it by day, I suppose, and trying to do same. Me and you are in the same boat, trying to do play-by-play.
Absolutely. And how has this experience throughout the summer, now that we're approaching the playoffs, kind of help you make strides in that sense, and everything you've kind of learned on the media side of things? You mentioned you're a team player, you kind of do a little bit of everything. Has that helped you be more versatile all around?
Oh, unbelievable. Being down below the stadium during games, learning production. I've never done anything like production in my life before. Never seen, kind of sat in a director's chair or second chair, anything things of that nature. Scorebug was an experience. We struggled with that one. But
we got there.
Yeah, we did get there. I can't say I'm comfortable. Wouldn't say I'm great at it, but I'd say I'm comfortable. Getting my feet wet in a lot of different positions. So it's been all positive. I got nothing to complain about.
Love to hear that. And with the postseason around the corner, of course, hopefully the best memories are still to come here this summer. But do you have a favorite moment so far that you can point to here at Cardines, whether that's among other interns or a game here? I know I'm putting you on the spot.
Favorite moment, potentially the Nolan Stevens 15-pitch at bat, no doubt home run.
Yeah.
That was a good one. I think that's probably the answer. And then the bat flip, the whole thing. That was a moment that I'll never forget.
Absolutely electric. Plenty of memories made and moments to remember here at Newport. We appreciate all of your hard work with the team, Brendan, throughout the summer. That's Brendan Locke. We'll be back in a moment with more on the Gulls pregame show. You might see this guy again. We'll see.
Welcome back inside the Newport Gulls pregame show. Brendan Locke joined alongside pitching coach Kevin Long, and this game doesn't mean much in terms of the standings or in terms of playoff positioning, but you said something super interesting to me on the way down. What was that explaining about just getting better?
every game is meaningful when you play. And it's meaningful because you want to get better, number one, or number two, you don't want to disrespect the game by going out there and not pitching 100% for your teammates. So that's the way that rolls.
So on that note, we have Nick Dorito scheduled to pitch for the start tonight. And how are you going to manage that leaderboard, that lineup facing off against Mystic? Because again, you want to save the arms for the playoffs, but obviously this is something that you take very seriously in just respecting the game and giving your all. So how are you going to manage the bullpen tonight?
Well, Nick has been chomping at the bit to have an opportunity to start all year. So, he's earned this opportunity to start. It's not like we threw him in there. He's earned that opportunity. He's been pitching better lately. So there you go. And you never know the tail end of the bullpen. When you get into postseason play, you get into an extra inning game and you need a left on left or a right on right. That guy's got to have his feel to come in there and do it. So all these games are meaningful.
Yeah. And then coming back a couple of weeks ago, we saw Colby Holcomb get drafted. Just what did that mean to you? And is there something that you see in Colby that could make him be really successful at professional level? Is there something that stands out that he does exceptionally well?
Well, it's really funny that you would say that because, the draft, right, I'd say around 2 or 3 days prior to the draft, the team that drafted him, the Blue Jays, the scout came and talked to me. We talked for around 20 minutes openly about him. And I told him, I said, Colby, number one, in my opinion, is going to be a major leaguer. And the reason why is the following. Number one, he's a good teammate, okay? Number two, he's got the physical attributes to handle the grind every day. Number three, he's very coachable. And number four, he's an intense competitor. So there you go. When you wrap that all up, along with his what he's been doing to prove himself over the years, there you go. He's earned an opportunity to play professional baseball.
That's great, and that's such amazing to see in the moment in that game, just to see him get drafted. Last question, potentially the most important question that we'll get all day. If you could medal or had to medal in an Olympic sport back in your heyday, what would it be?
Wow, that's some sort of running sport. I used to love to run.
Track and field?
Some sort of endurance run. Because, baseball to me is an endurance game. And when I could run, I used to love to run.
There you go.
I found it relaxing, and I did all my planning when I would jog. But, I'm 72 now. I can't do things that I did when I was younger.
Oh, that happens to all of us. That's Coach Kevin Long. He's pitching coach. My name is Brendan Locke. Signing off, 1 o'clock first pitch over on ESPN Plus against the Mystic Schooners. Don't be anywhere else.
Welcome back into the Newport Gulls pregame show. It's the Gulls and the Schooners, game number 43 of the season, and the regular season finale at that before the playoffs get underway here at Cardines Field in a couple of days' time. Newport locked into the 2 seed, but hoping to end the regular season on a positive note. Mystic can clinch a playoff berth on the other hand if they get the win. Remember, it's a 7-inning contest between the Gulls and the Schooners because Mystic is traveling across the bridge to play Ocean State later tonight. Crazy end of the season here, but this will be the final regular season contest for the Gulls. As Brendan said, if you want to watch the action, you can do so over on ESPN Plus. 1 o'clock first pitch. It's a Tuesday matinee between Newport and Mystic in the final regular season game. That's all here on the Newport Gulls pregame show. I'm Sam Reese. Thanks everyone for tuning in.
I won!
That's a good play!
Since 1974, the Rhode Island Lottery has paid over $57 billion in prizes and contributed over $8 billion to Rhode Island's general fund. Your Rhode Island Lottery, a good play for 50 years and counting.
The sun is out and we're ready for an ultra-rare Tuesday matinee of baseball here at Cardines Field in Newport, Rhode Island. It's game number 43 for the Newport Gulls, and we do know for certain now that it's the regular season finale as well for Newport. Welcome into Cardines Field as the Gulls get ready to take on the Mystic Schooners alongside Brendan Locke and Mystic broadcaster Andrew Fiore. I'm Sam Reese, and Andrew, I'll go to you first because it tends to get hectic, the schedule towards the end of the regular season officially ending tomorrow before the playoffs begin on Thursday. So for Mystic, their last game was game 2 of that doubleheader against Newport back on Saturday. And Sunday was a regularly scheduled off day. And then yesterday, this game was rained out, postponed to this afternoon. So now Mystic has 2 games today. First here, and then you guys will be traveling over the bridge to take on Ocean State. Quite a lot going on for the Schooners towards the end of the season.
Well, we're used to a little craziness here, Sam. A wild doubleheader on Saturday was the last time the Schooners played, as he just mentioned, and it was bizarre. Both of the first innings of that game ended 5-4, which tells you all you need to know about how that finished. But for Newport, it was a good doubleheader. They clinched the Coastal Division, got 2 more wins, and they are now 6-0 against the Schooners, who are looking to clinch a playoff spot of their own. Now, with the Valley Blue Sox playing a doubleheader today as well, a lot can go right or wrong for the Schooners in trying to hold that 6th seed in the playoff picture. But all they can control really here is getting 1 win today out of this Rhode Island doubleheader, and they can start with getting 1 here.
That's the goal for Mystic, who still has, as Andrew mentioned, a good deal at stake. Still has to win a game to get into the playoffs. If they win this one, they're officially a postseason team here in the 2024 season. On the other hand, for Newport, Brendan, we found out actually this morning, a few hours before game time, that their temporary makeup game at Vermont tomorrow has officially been canceled. That confirms what was basically inevitable, that the Gulls have locked in the number 2 seed. So standings-wise and playoff scenario-wise, it's a meaningless game for Newport, but they'd still like to end the regular season off on a good note.
You want to end the season on a good note, and it was also just confusing. It's good to know that we know what we're doing on Thursday now. Still don't know who the opponent will be on that Thursday, to be determined based on a number of factors. Coaches aren't sure. We're getting asked when we get to the ballpark what's happening. So it's just good to kind of have at least half that schedule made, and what we thought was going to happen is now confirmed, and it'll be a home game on Thursday. And then this will be a great chance for Nick Dorito, who we've seen out of the bullpen multiple times, and it's pitched well, now finally getting his chance to start. So it should be all good for Nick, and a chance for him to really show out in front of a decent crowd at Tuesday at 1 o'clock.
Yeah, I mean, this is more impressive of a crowd than I expected for a Tuesday 1 o'clock game. That just shows, how loyal Gulls fans are here at Cardines Field and how many fans come out on a day-to-day basis. And we are almost ready for first pitch here from Newport, as we are moments away from getting this game underway. We were told a 1 o'clock first pitch, but, that was a loose time frame, Andrew, as the teams are just now getting ready to head back on the field for the first pitch of this one, and Newport wearing its all-white uniforms. Yeah, going back to the crowd, I mean, it's better than I anticipated, Andrew. Newport never plays in the afternoon, never mind on a weekday either.
Well, Newport always draws well. I mean, this looks like a better crowd than some of the Mystic games we've seen, some of the other teams in the league. Newport always getting crowds, and looks like they're on it. They know about the late schedule change, and props to them, honestly.
Yes, and getting ready on the mound for the Gulls is a bullpen arm in Nick Dorito, who comes in with plenty of appearances under his belt, 10 to be exact, but this is his first start of the season as the righty gets loose, and it will be a bullpen game. It will be a bullpen game for the Gulls, as that's kind of the approach that Newport has had to take these last few games of the regular season, and not the worst case scenario considering they've locked up the 2 seed as well.
Right, I mean, this game clearly means more to Mystic, who's still fighting for seeding as we get set to go here. Newport, this is just a tune-up for the season.
So Dorito getting loose, and why don't you take us through that that Newport defense, Brendan?
Yeah, we have Nico Brini in right field, Andrew Duncan in center, along with Tyler Hare in left, working left to right across the infield is Doyle, Seymour, Musakia, and Austin Fort Minnick behind the plate catching for Dorito.
So that's how the defense lines up for Newport as Dorito gets his final few warm-up pitches in. We are almost ready to get this one started. It will be Kean Saylor leading off for the Mystic Schooners, and this will be a 7-inning game. We should let everyone know ahead of time. Why don't you take us through that entire batting order for the Schooners tonight, Andrew?
Well, Sam, like you said, Kean Saylor back in the lead-up spot like normal. Then it's Christian Scanlon behind him, Jaden Hilton in the 3 spot, Maddox Delana hits 4th, Jack Goodman 5th, then it's Scotty Young, Davis Johnson, Mark Willie, and Cheeky Dela Cruz.
So we're ready to go. It will be officially a 1:07 first pitch, the earliest home game of the summer for Newport. 3 o'clock was previously the earliest game to get underway here at Cardines Field as part of those doubleheaders. But of course, it's usually a 6:35 first pitch for Newport home games. A little bit different with this rescheduled contest. The home plate umpire and Jacob Ashworth says play, and Dorito fires in a strike on the first pitch of the game.
Dorito's someone that we've really seen improve over the course of the year, a UML kid, so this is a real step up, has been a real step up in the competition for him.
Now all even to Kean Saylor, the center fielder for Mystic.
But compared to that, what he's normally used to facing off at UMass Lowell, but he's really grown into his role well in the bullpen, and just seeing him improve every day.
1-1 to Saylor. Sails outside.
Well, this early start might benefit the Schooners. Their lone win against the Gulls last season was a 3-0-2 game 1 of a doubleheader. Mystic held on to win 5-4 here at Cardines Field, so maybe they like to play earlier here at Cardines.
Potentially so. It's definitely different for the Gulls. Anyways, playing here at Cardines as it's a 3-1 count to Saylor, and that finds the zone. It's now a full count right away. Payoff pitch, swing and a miss, and Dorito gets a strikeout to his name to begin this one.
Great pitch there just to set him down. Saylor hung in there for a bit, but Dorito wasn't phased, and that's exactly the way he wants to start this off, especially after the Mystic Schooners and the Newport Gulls as well. Offenses both got off to such hot first innings in both games of that doubleheader.
Here's Christian Scanlon for the Schooners. Takes ball 1 up high. As mentioned, this is Mystic's 3rd consecutive game against Newport after having Sunday off, and then this game being postponed from last night to this afternoon. Now the 1-0. Fastball swung through by Scanlon to today's DH for Mystic.
Just took him low and worked up the speed there. Fantastic pitch against Scanlon, who is a big power hitter.
Here's the 1-1, drilled out to center field. This one towards the fence, and it's off the Bo Tyler sign. Corralled by Andrew Duncan, and that's a deep single from Christian Scanlon for the first base runner of the game.
Well, there's that power I mentioned. Scanlon just ripping that one all the way to the fence, saw a pitch he liked, and that's what he's been doing all season, one of the most consistent hitters for this Mystic team.
That brings up Jaden Hilton for the Schooners as he steps into the batter's box. The right-handed batter out of Stetson takes ball 1. He began his summer with the Brewster Whitecaps in the Cape Cod League, played 6 games there before heading over to Mystic, where he's made an impact, batting .273 in 14 games played for the Schooners. Here comes the 1-0. Right down the middle, Dorito, strike one.
And you know, you saw it, Sam. He hit that home run to the parking lot, his first as a Schooner in Game 2 of the doubleheader in the first inning. So it's never too early for him to get started.
Now the 1-1 to Hilton. And he laces it, and it takes an awkward bounce over the glove of the second baseman, Musakia. Duncan called into action out in center, and back-to-back singles have Mystic in business early.
You called that, Tim. It looks like it almost took a hop off of the grass cut right in front of Musakia, and it bounced about 4 feet over his head. And no real play for him, and now the Schooners are in business early in the top of the first.
That brings up Maddox Delana, who swings at the first pitch, looped foul off to the left side and well out of play.
Well, this is a strong part of the order. Scanlon, Hilton, and Delana all have a lot of just raw strength in their bats. You saw it on those two singles. Delana, one of the most consistent hitters for the Schooners.
Delana awaits the 0-1 now. And it's an off-speed pitch just outside the zone to even the count. Delana, the cleanup batter for the Schooners, the third baseman this afternoon out of UConn. Runners on first and second for Mystic. For this matinee here on ESPN Plus between two division rivals. And that one swung through, 1-2. Dorito hoping to get that crucial second out.
That's a nice comeback pitch by Dorito.
And for the Schooners, you know, you saw it, Sam. They stranded runners left and right throughout that doubleheader. This is a big opportunity to get an early lead here against a tough Gulls team before their offense has a chance to do anything.
The 1-2 pitch. He goes with the heat outside, throw down the line, and out. Jaden Hilton couldn't get back in time. A dime of a throw from Tyler Minnick behind the dish records the crucial second out.
Yeah, he just got caught napping a little bit. Hilton did. Took a bit too big of a lead. Minnick noticed it right away, fires it down to first, and big second out for the Gulls.
Yet again, the lead's off first, biting the Schooners. How many pickoffs did we see in that doubleheader, Sam? This wasn't exactly a pickoff, but close enough.
Right. That was a common theme in that doubleheader, to your point, as the breaking ball misses outside. We have our second full count early on in this game. The lone base runner is now Christian Scanlon, who has the lead over at second for Mystic. The 3-2 to Delana. Off speed, and it misses inside. Dorito's first walk of the game puts Delana on first, and we carry on with Jack Goodman due up.
Not to play the what-if game, but let's do it anyway. With that walk, it would have been bases loaded with one away for Mystic. Going to regret that pickoff unless Jack Goodman can get something going here. He talked to me at the cage today. He was in a bit of a slump for much of the summer because he was worried about his mood and how he was feeling, but now he realizes it's not about how you're feeling, it's about just competing.
Takes a fastball up near the head.
Well, and the odd thing about that Hilton play is there's nowhere for him to go. He came out about halfway between first and second, but with Scanlon on second base, there's nowhere where he could run. So it was a really interesting play and probably the easiest throw of the year for Minnick.
1-0 from Nick Dorito. It's a heater, popped high in the air right side, foul ground. Austin Fort giving chase, but that ball hits the roof that covers the fans all the way down the first base line and ends up landing, I believe, near the street or the clubhouse anyways.
But this Goodman mindset has led to a bit of a resurgence. He had 5 runs batted in and 2 home runs at the Vineyard last week. His shifted mentality seems to be working, and he really needs it here.
1-1 the count. Dorito takes a couple of looks at the runner at second and curves that one right in the zone. Goodman shakes his head saying, yep, that was certainly a strike that I should have went after. 1-2. Dorito hoping to end the inning right here. Here's the pitch. And off the bat. So Goodman with a bit of a half-committal swing, but it's enough to stay alive here.
It's a good break for Minnick. He didn't quite locate that ball as it came back to the backstop. Would have had runners in scoring position.
A sunny Tuesday afternoon here at Cardines Field. And as you can see from our center field cam, I mean, a decent amount of fans who have filed in for this one. We'll do the 1-2 over again. Fastball. Goodman got jammed. Minnick battling the sun. Can he make a play on it? Yes, he can. He held it into his glove right at the fence. His manager, Mike Coombs, right there to give him a fist bump. What a play by Newport's catcher to end the inning. No score. We head to the bottom of the first after this. Look at this play. The sun a factor with this being an afternoon game, and Minnick leaping back, gets it done. We're back in a moment. Back here in Newport, there you see Don O'Hanlon, the legendary Gulls PA announcer here, a Gulls Hall of Famer as well. He never misses a pitch here at Cardines Field, Brendan, and he's always a great presence around the ballpark for everyone involved.
He's fantastic, and he'll let you know that he's never missed a pitch or an inning as well. But always great to see Don. A wonderful conversation to be had every single time, and you know, he continues his streak, never missing an inning.
Absolutely.
I remember coming here as a kid and hearing that voice. He's been doing this for a long time, and Newport's all the better for it.
A legend around these parts, that's for sure. And focusing back on the field, Andrew, it's Devin Wolf getting the start for Mystic. So we got two starting pitchers tonight on both sides who are bullpen guys making their first starts of the summer.
Absolutely. Well, as you can see on the screen there, 2.13 ERA, 1-1 record in 12.2 innings. That walk to strikeout ratio, look at that, 15-4. A lot of those relievers have fantastic ratios for the Schooners. He last pitched 3.1 innings against Ocean State and got the loss. He allowed 1 earned run, 2 hits, 4 strikeouts, and 1 walk after facing 14. But before that, he pitched an inning and 2/3, getting a walk and 3 strikeouts against Danbury. And the time before that might have been his best performance. 2 innings pitched, 1 hit, 1 strikeout, no walks, no runs. So they're looking for that type of quality from him. And that's something they've seen a lot from him, the UConn product, of course, a high-quality school that UConn is, or that the Schooners are no stranger to, and you see a few more Huskies in that defensive order that we can see. Outfield left to right, it's Scotty Young, Kean Saylor, Jaden Hilton. Then Wolf's teammate Delana at third, Jack Goodman at short, Cheeky Dela Cruz at second, and Mark Willie at first as Devin Wolf throws to Davis Johnson.
And we'll get to the entire Newport batting order in a moment, but it's no surprise to see this man in the leadoff spot. That's Nico Brini, the right fielder for the Gulls, who's batting .352. He swings at the first pitch, popped in the air to right field. 3 Schooners around it, and backtracking, Cheeky De La Cruz makes the catch. The second baseman getting his steps in right away.
You know, every time he gets out, it feels like a massive break for Mystic.
As we take a look at that entire Newport batting order now, Brendan.
Yeah, Nico Brini, who we just saw batting leadoff, Andrew Duncan settled into the 2-hole best hitter in the NECBL, and Dixon Williams at 3, Tyler Minnick at 4, Tyler Hare at 5, Austin Fort, Randy Seymour's moved down in the lineup, Carmelo Musakia, and Jack Doyle is in the 9-hole.
So plenty of changes made from Sunday's game, which makes sense. You want to rest certain guys as well, knowing that you have that 2 seed locked up, knowing that also that you don't have to make that Vermont trip. Newport's next game will be game 1 in round 1 of the playoffs, and Duncan rips one right down Broadway for the first base hit for Newport today.
Yeah, good to see Jack Duncan really settling back in. He had a tough month of July, and he came out so hot when he came here in about mid-June, and now he's really started to find himself again. Says he's swinging in a lot better, and now he's aboard and the Gulls are in business.
Andrew Duncan has refound his form at the plate, that's for certain, in the last week and a half or so now. And here's the designated hitter tonight in Dixon Williams, who did not play in the last game on Sunday against Ocean State. Down low, it's quickly handled by Davis Johnson, Mystics catcher. We were told Williams was dealing with a bit of a sickness, was a little bit under the weather, and he was probably due for a rest day as well on Sunday, either way.
And you can hear all you need to know about this guy by the way Brendan so nonchalantly said, yeah, the best hitter in the NECBL hitting third.
And he gets a piece of this one high in the air. Duncan was already towards second. He has to retreat just in case, but that baseball's dropped. And now Duncan has to take off. The out is recorded. That ball did not stay in the infield, so no infield fly rule here. Just a bit of an unfortunate break for Newport when all is said and done, even though it was a baseball that seemed to be easily caught by De La Cruz. Or rather the right fielder Hilton, and he just lost it in the sun.
Well, I have to wonder if it was sun or wind. It's very breezy here at Cardines right now. The flag in right field's moving a good bit, and I just have to wonder if that ball kind of got caught up in the wind and made it difficult for the right fielder Hilton.
Also a bit of an awkward moment there. In the end, that second out is recorded by Mystic, and there's a base runner at first in Dixon Williams. Outside, it's now a 2-0 count to Tyler Minnick. That's Newport's Tyler Minnick. Mystic's Tyler Minnick is not in the lineup today.
Unfortunate.
Down low, now 3-0. And of course, the storyline Saturday was in game 1 of the doubleheader between the Gulls and the Schooners. Tyler Minnick of Newport and Tyler Minnick of Mystic hit a home run.
That's unbelievable.
It was extraordinary.
And Mystics was a grand slam.
That's right. No home run this time for Newport's Tyler Minnick, but he didn't have to take his bat off his shoulder because a 4-pitch walk puts him on base.
So after a bizarre play that really didn't change anything, it just swapped out base runners, Newport still finds a way to get 2 on now with 2 out. And if you're the Schooners, you cannot let this run score, but that's a big ask with Tyler Hare coming up to the plate.
Well, this is the same thing that Dorito dealt with in the top of the inning, 2 aboard, 2 out. See if Schooners can get out of it.
First pitch to Tyler Hare, well outside, and at 92 miles an hour from Devin Wolf. Newport's offense was limited to a season-low 2 hits in Sunday's 2-0 loss to Ocean State. It was the first time the Gulls were shut out all summer long. As that sails outside, and it's 6 straight balls thrown by Devin Wolf as Davis Johnson, his catcher, comes out to just have a word with him and try to settle things back down.
Yeah, well, he really had it going at first there, but it looks like he was a bit rattled by those back-to-back bizarre plays and the single up the middle. And Johnson, hoping to settle him down here, just need 1 more out to give us something we haven't seen in a long time between these two teams, and that's a scoreless first inning.
That's right. In that doubleheader Saturday, there were 18 combined runs scored in the first inning between both games. And a heavy swing and miss from Tyler Hare. Perhaps that meeting did the trick as Wolf refines the strike zone.
93 on the gun. That's a really nice return pitch from Wolf.
What's more bizarre about those first innings, the 18 runs split evenly, 9-9 between the two teams.
That's right. Just missing the zone there. It's 3-1. Yes, it was a 5-4 Mystic lead after the first inning of Game 1. It was a 5-4 Newport lead after the first inning of Game 2. The Gulls ultimately won both of those games to clinch the Coastal Division that day. And the fastball down and away. So 8 of Wolf's last 9 pitches have been balls, and a couple of walks loads the bases up for Newport with 2 outs.
It's not what you want to see for Mystic. Avoidable situation here, and Wolf usually so reliable. We talked about that strikeout to walk ratio of 15-4. He's not a big walk pitcher, but we haven't seen him start a game yet. So
right.
Clearly the uniqueness of the situation and the pressure of the moment getting to him a little bit here in the first. They just need 1 out, so a pop fly or anything like that will do it.
Yeah, and a mound visit taking place early. The last thing you want if you're Mystic is to have to go to your bullpen early, because as a reminder, this is a 7-inning contest because Mystic has to go to Ocean State when this game ends, and they'll play a 9-inning game at the Waves. First pitch of that one scheduled for 6:30. So this is Newport's only game of the day. They weren't originally scheduled to play today, but Mystic already had that game against Ocean State on its schedule, so they're knocking out both Rhode Island trips in one day here due to this game being moved from last night to today.
And in Mystic's case, if they have to reach deep into the bullpen in this game, that could create some problems down the line if it is a short start for Wolf, and now so you have somebody warming up, and that messes up everything for the rest of the day.
Well, Wolf can get out of it if he can put away Matt Austinfort here, the number 6 hitter, takes strike 1.
It's a nice pitch to come back from.
Jacob Ashworth, the home plate umpire. J.C. Fernandez and Chris Engstrad are the umps on the base paths today. Randy Seymour on deck for Newport with the bases loaded up. 0-1. Fastball just misses outside. 94, and almost a casual 94 from Wolf.
Not only could it mess up the pitching for the next game or tomorrow's game, but then you have to think about the playoffs. They're playing 3 games in 2 days right before the playoffs. Not an ideal situation.
Swing and a miss from Austinfort, 1 and 2. That's right, you know, a good amount of teams will end up, like Mystic, having to play tomorrow, the day before the postseason. For Newport, they were fortunate to get the news that they won't have to make their trip to Vermont tomorrow because they're locked into the 2 seed. So the Gulls will have that day off before the playoffs. 1-2 to Austinfort. Swing and a miss, and Devin Wolf's first strikeout is a massive one. It gets him out of the inning unscathed with the bases loaded up. No score. We have a special guest coming into the booth next. You won't want to miss it. Welcome back into sunny Newport, Rhode Island. It's the Gulls and the Schooners battling in what's Newport's regular season finale. As we roll on to the second inning, it's no score between Mystic and Newport for a rare Tuesday matinee here at Cardines Field. As always, pleased to be joined by Andrew Fiore, and also in the booth is Aiden Coleman. We got to get that headset situated with you. Are you good now, Aiden?
Yeah,
somewhat?
I gotta pull this down here.
All right, there we go. Take your time. There we go. We got it figured out.
We're good.
Look at that. And slide to your left a little bit so we get you on camera. There we go. Look, we got he's rocking the goggles. Of course, Aiden, one of the key starters in Newport's rotation. Off today. You'll be ready to go for the playoffs come Thursday. How has the summer been, Aiden?
It's been phenomenal. You know, it doesn't really get much better than Newport. And, I mean, the guys have been awesome. The coaching staff, you know, Chuck and all the managers have they've been great. And it's been one of the best summers of my lives. And trying to finish it off on the right foot here, you know, go get a ring over the next few weeks. So it's been great.
Absolutely. That's obviously the ultimate goal, as we have Scotty Young leading off for the Schooners here in the second, facing Nick Dorito for the Gulls. And Aiden, for you personally, I mean, you've been dominating out there on the mound, as there's ball one. Your 5 wins are tied for the most in the league. Your strikeouts, 45, second in the NECBL. Your ERA at 2.65, third in the league. I don't want to keep pumping you up too much, but that's pretty impressive stuff.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
As there's a swing and a miss, 1-1. How have you felt all summer long playing in one of the premier collegiate summer baseball leagues? You're just a rising sophomore at Pitt. To go out here and pitch the way you have all summer, that's got to feel great.
Yeah, definitely. You know, I think, you know, coming in, I was nervous. I'm sure all the guys, you know, it's different. You're meeting a bunch of new guys and stuff. So, you know, coming out here and just building some confidence, I think that was a big thing. And, you know, just throwing strikes and every week trying to get better, staying on a good routine. And, yeah, like I said, just trying to get better each start. And, you know, the guys have been helpful with that. You learn a lot from meeting different guys from different schools around the country. So, yeah, I think I learned a lot from them, learned a lot from the coaches, and it's been great.
So as the road team broadcaster, I've kind of got to make this a Mystic angle here. How many guys on opposing teams have you gotten to know, or how many teammates from Pittsburgh have you seen around the league? Is there anybody on this Mystic team you're particularly close with?
No, there is one other player in the NECBL. He's with North Adams, and he's going to be at Pitt next year. And I talked to him a little bit, but the guys at Mystic, I met a few of them at the All-Star game. Great guys, you know, it was awesome. Like I said, meeting more new guys from around the league, too, so that was cool. And that was a great day in Bristol. But, yeah, I guess I'm not super close with anyone on Mystic, but definitely got to meet some of them, and they're all great dudes.
Yeah, I was just thinking, actually, you just missed Carlos Martinez.
Yeah.
Because you were a freshman this past year. He was a sophomore at UMass Lowell. He was at Pitt the year before. Carlos was on the summer ball team I was the broadcaster for last year.
Yeah.
He's doing well with UMass Lowell, and now a teammate of Nick Dorito, who's on the mound. Carlos is doing great out in Vermont, so a former Pitt player at that, as the 0-1 is laced and into the glove of Carmelo Musakia, right on the line. Musakia didn't have to move much, but it's quickly 2 up, 2 down here in the second inning. I want to talk quickly about that All-Star experience, Aiden, because you were one of several goals selected. You got to pitch in the All-Star game in Bristol. That had to be amazing. Yeah,
it was awesome. It was a great day. Home run derby was fun. You know, being with your teammates and meeting new guys was also great. And it was a good game, too. Not a high-scoring game, but both sides pitched really well.
Yeah.
We ended up getting the W, which was fun.
Yes, sir.
So, yeah, it was a great day. It was a great day.
You had a couple of strikeouts in your inning of work, as Dorito deals in the 0-1, swung through. Yeah, so take me through as well, from if you were on the mound right now. We got an 0-2 count. What do you think Dorito's throwing here?
I don't know. He just threw a great splitter.
Yep.
Kid swing right over it, so I'm going right back to it in the dirt here. Let's see.
Here we go.
Oh, he went heater up.
He went heater.
Good pitch, and now I'm going right back to the splitter. So
92 on the gun.
Oh, yeah. Attaboy. He's looked very good today, very comfortable, and doing a great job so far.
Yeah, some back-to-back bullpen games for the Gulls.
Oh, he tried it. He tried the splitter.
He did.
Missed just a bit there.
Just a bit. So 2-2 now the count with 2 outs to Mark Willie. Dorito hoping to retire the side in order here. Don't worry, Aiden will be back for the bottom of the second inning. We might even challenge him to do some play-by-play for us if you're cool with
I'm up
us.
for it.
All right, there we go.
Another good pitch there.
Yep.
It's always the innings where you have players in the booth
Every
Sam,
time.
that go 1, 2, 3 like this.
It never fails. Every time we have some guest in the booth, it's the quickest inning of the game.
Yeah, I hope this top half goes quick. We get one more out here, and then I hope this bottom of the second lasts a while. That'd be good.
That would be
Score
ideal.
a few runs for the goals. Good
yes,
pitch.
sir.
Oh,
And that almost hit our cameraman, Chris Dring. He's okay, we can assure you. We got Malak, our social media person, and Joey Rizzi up there. They're all right. There we go. Malak throwing the ball back down to Drew DeLucia. You got to be careful up there.
yeah. Yeah, we this past week there was a bat. The bat almost got him.
Yes, that is true. As that ball smoked, but it is foul. That deflected off the warehouse there in right field. That final strike could be recorded any second now as the count stays at 2-2 against Mark Willie.
I'm going to risk asking him a quick question here. One of
yeah,
our pitchers
sure
said
thing.
he hates pitching here at Cardinals because of the way the outfield
I was going
is.
to ask.
I love it.
You love it.
I love it.
Aiden's going to expand on that
I will.
after a quick break. We got to toss to a break here on ESPN Plus. It's a 1-2-3 frame for Dorito. We're back in a moment. No score here on ESPN Plus. We're back here in Newport as you see Devin Wolf getting loose, ready to get his second inning of work underway. He'll face the 7, 8, 9 hitters for the Gulls, and Randy Seymour, Carmelo Musakia, and Jack Doyle. Don't worry, we still got Aiden Coleman in the booth. He's actually, it's a small world, and it shows you how many fans from a bunch of different areas come to Gulls games here at Cardines, that the fans sitting to our right are from Pittsburgh. So they immediately made that connection with Aiden. So he's chatting it up with them as you can see us on camera. He'll get the headset back on in a moment. But what are the chances of that, Andrew?
Well, it's something. Once you find someone from your school or who roots for your team, you've got to drop what you're doing and talk to them. So we can't interrupt this natural process of a sports interaction here.
Absolutely not. As Randy Seymour steps into the batter's box for the Gulls to face Devin Wolf, still no score. As we've got Aiden back on the headset, the off-speed pitch finds the zone for a strike. We were just saying, Aiden, it's such a small world, and it shows you how many people come from different parts of the country and the world, really, here to games at Cardines Field. That the people sitting to our right from Pittsburgh, and you play at Pitt. How about that?
Yeah, it was. Yeah, I mean, we
pretty cool, huh?
Yeah, definitely. We were just talking about best places to eat around there.
There we go.
There's some great breakfast places. I'm a big breakfast fan. So
you are?
Yeah, huge
Okay.
breakfast fan. Here in Newport Crew Cafe, free coffee, great meal, a lot of food. Can't beat it.
Awesome stuff. Yeah, plenty of great options here in Newport, that's for sure. It's quickly an 0-2 count to Randy Seymour as Wolf fires and Seymour lays off. Ball one delivered. So you're from San Antonio, Texas. You just finished up your freshman year at Pitt. Had you ever ventured into New England, though, before coming here to Newport this summer?
I've been to, up to Boston
Right.
a bit. I got family up there.
Yeah.
But not into Rhode Island. I'd never been into Rhode Island. But there was, like he mentioned, we had a guy at Pitt, Ryan Andre, who's our Friday starter. And he's from Middletown. So, throughout the year, we'd always talk about Newport and stuff like that. And he was telling me how great it was. And it lived up to, all that he said. So it's been spectacular. Rhode Island's a beautiful state. And Newport's great.
Yeah,
So.
and to see Ryan Andrade as well selected in the
Yeah.
MLB draft, it's got to be really cool for yourself as someone who's now pitching for the Gulls, who was teammates with him at Pitt, to see his hard work pay off and get drafted, and you taking a similar route now, saying hopefully that's me sooner rather than later.
I'd love to follow in his footsteps there for sure. But he taught me a lot throughout the year at school, and he was a great pitcher for us. His stuff was electric and just got a lot of outs, and he's a great pitcher, great dude. So I'm super happy for him.
So I've got to ask you about Pitt. I got to go there once working with Rhodey football when they played Pittsburgh, and just the fact that they play in the Steelers Stadium is unbelievable. How is the campus life there, and what's it like watching your team play in these big market games?
Yeah, it's awesome. We go there as a team. Like this past year, obviously first time going to the games and stuff. We went as a team, and there's a little like athlete section at the game, so you can meet new people and stuff, which is cool. And it's a great venue. You really can't beat it. It's awesome, and the games are fun there. It's a blast.
Absolutely. As an attendee at Syracuse, I'll definitely let you know, Aiden, if I'm ever calling a Syracuse Pitt football, basketball, or lacrosse game.
Awesome.
And if it's a lacrosse game in the spring, I'll try to make it to one of the baseball games.
There you
as well,
go. I like it.
And see yourself on the mound as the 1-2 pitch is on the way upstairs to Carmelo Musakia. The count 2-2. It's got to be cool as well being here in Newport. You mentioned how it's kind of new for you, first official season, summer of summer ball for you as one of the younger players on this team as a rising sophomore, to meet guys like Carmelo plays at Northeastern as he drills that one foul way off to the right side, and how to play. Just seeing guys from different parts of the country, different colleges across the country, and making, I'm sure, friends that you'll stay in touch for a long time going forward.
Definitely, yeah. Like I was saying earlier, just even from school to summer ball, learning a lot from the older guys, I think has been big. Hearing their experiences, things to do, things not to do. It's been awesome just learning a lot, and I think all the people I've met over the last year have helped incredibly. So it's been good.
And what's the experience been like as well, playing for manager Mike Coombs as well as pitching coach Kevin Long? What have you learned from them? Basically, seasoned veterans who've been around the game for a while.
Yeah, they're great. They keep us motivated every day to, stay on top of our stuff. Coach Long talks a lot about, routines and making sure you're prepared. Preparation, he talks about that quite a bit. So that's been great. And Coach Coombs, overseeing the whole team and getting us ready to go each day. So they've done a great job. And Coach Teddy, he's a master with the hitters.
Oh yeah,
he's the GOAT, as they say.
Here's the full count pitch to Musakia, and the fastball misses in. What a take there from Carmelo. You could see Wolf, Mystics pitcher, trying to paint that inside part of the zone. Couldn't clip it. So we take a look at the replay. Great feature of our games on ESPN Plus, Aiden.
Wow. Really good pitch. Tad inside. I mean, as a pitcher, I want that. I want that pitch.
Right.
That's a really good spot there, but great take by Mello. See what Jack can do here.
Now, I've got something I've asked my players, and the answer is almost always Cardines. But for you, what's your favorite road park to pitch at?
I've thrown at Muzzy twice now in Bristol.
Yeah.
That's a really cool one. Nice ballpark. Definitely don't like Ocean State. I've thrown there twice. No offense to the Ocean State guys, but
hey, it's a rivalry.
Yeah.
You don't have to say all nice things about them.
I'm trying to think where else I've thrown at.
I'm trying to as well.
Ocean State twice, Muzzy, and then I kind of got lucky when I got moved into the Monday role after Adam left, that I've thrown at Cardines quite a bit, and you can't really beat that. I mean, it's awesome. The mound's great. Oh, great swing.
Great swing
out, ball.
from Jack Doyle.
Get
That
out.
ball's traveling back and gone.
There we go. Jack Doyle. Oh, yeah.
Gotta love that. The number 9
That was
hitter,
awesome.
Jack Doyle, going yard. We have Aiden in the booth, and what happens? Newport hits a home run.
Good luck charm, baby. That's awesome. Great swing right there. Ball was crushed.
His third homer of the summer, and it comes at a perfect time as Newport takes a 2-0 lead with that 2-run shot.
Aiden, you should have tried a home run call there.
I know. I was mid-discussion.
Yeah.
Mid-discussion.
You know what? We're going to how about you take over play-by-play
All right.
for Nico's at bat, because
I like it.
he gets on base quite a
Yeah,
bit.
these are always fun.
Yeah.
These are always fun. Nico Brini stepping in the box here. This guy's been amazing for us all summer. Great leadoff guy. First pitch, heater. Good swing. All right, how does this work? I gotta get into it here a little bit
yeah,
more.
you got it. You got it. You just have to be confident in
Yeah.
yourself. You know.
You're right, you're right.
You're the play-by-play broadcaster.
That was a great swing. Start off the at bat.
You've got
See
it.
what he comes back with here. Ooh. I think it was a slider. Not too sure, but good pitch. Nico's down 0-2 now. Let's see what he could do here. This is where Nico's a tough out with 2 strikes right here. He'll battle and he'll foul pitches off. He's done it all summer long. Oh, yeah. There we go. Nico Brini with 2 strikes, folks. Doesn't get much better.
Perfect. Hey,
Great job by Nico.
I said there was a good chance that with Nico Brini at the plate that you'd get to call a hit. That's his 51st of the summer, second most in the entire NECBL. His .352 batting average entering the day, 4th best in the league, second on Newport behind Dixon Williams, of course. And you know, what a performer he's been all summer.
Yeah, he's a gamer, and he's very consistent too. It's every game, every time he's in the box.
Yeah.
You know, you're like, yeah, he'll probably get on base here, one way or another.
He had a 4-hit performance in Game 1 of that doubleheader against these Mystic Schooners on Saturday, as Andrew Duncan's now in the batter's box.
Yeah, Duncan had a great swing in his first at bat. Laced a single up the middle.
Yep.
See if he could do it again.
We were talking about in that first inning, Duncan's been refining his swing at the plate. As that's up high, Brini
Okay.
taking off the
Attaboy.
throw offline a little bit. Brini slides in safely. He's in the scoring position.
Yep, just like that. It's like an automatic double with him and Dixon. Every time they get on first, they're on second, and he's in scoring position.
His 11th stolen base of the summer, here with still just 1 out. So I got to ask you, Aiden, obviously you've been here all summer. This is the regular season finale. We've got playoffs around the corner, and you'll be a big part of that, of course, as that misses down low. How it can be grueling, obviously, summer ball, you know, with the team playing 6 games a week. Different for starting pitchers, of course, so you kind of get into a rhythm, I'm sure, with what day you're starting each week. But how excited are you and your teammates as well to lock in and get ready for hopefully a playoff run?
Yeah, I think, you know, after a lot of games this summer, we're ready to go for sure. And I think all the guys are excited, and, you know, we're locked in. And I think that the playoff atmosphere here at Cardines on Thursday is going to be a blast, and we're going to come out and, you know, hopefully do our job. So that's the plan. But, yeah, we're all super excited, ready to go for sure.
Absolutely. And after Duncan was walked, there's 2 runners on now. Duncan's at first, Brini on second, and Dixon Williams coming up to bat. How's it been like having Dixon as a teammate? I mean, seems from my interactions with him, very chill, laid-back guy.
Yeah.
But a baller out there as
Yeah,
well.
we, you know, us in the bullpen, we'll talk about it. Like, yeah, he's one of the best hitters I think we've all played with. The kid's legit. I mean, you know, there's not really much more to say. He's great. So, see what he can do here. I mean, he could easily put 3 runs on the scoreboard right here.
Oh, yeah.
Good take there.
He's got 4 home runs to his name, but also just finds ways to get on base.
Yeah.
38 hits on the year, his .388 batting average, top in the league as we see a mound visit being utilized here for the Schooners.
Yeah, Dixon he'll tell me, like, he'll get in the box and sit off speed, and the next thing you know, we're watching, and some guy's throwing 92 up in the zone, and he hits a double down the left field line. It's like, you know, he just said he was sitting slider.
And we see the Mystic bullpen getting loose at the moment as well, Andrew.
Yeah, it's something you didn't want to see with another game tonight. And Aiden, when your pitching coach steps onto the mound and talks to you when you're struggling, what's going through your mind and what is he telling you?
Yeah, I mean, you know, sometimes they just come out there to calm you down. There's runners on base. You know, you give up a few hits just to kind of, you know, get you back in your zone, you know, just compete. I think that's a big thing in summer ball is competing and filling up the zone. And if you can do those things, you'll be successful. So that's what, he's big on. He comes out there, lets us know, it's time to go. Let's go compete and get back in the zone. So.
And that's what Wolf is hoping to do here against Dixon Williams. 1-0 is the count, 1 out. 2 runners on for Newport, a 2-0 lead after that Jack Doyle 2-run shot. Fastball laced down the line, and it's past the glove of Mark Willie. Breeny's getting the wave home from third. Duncan heading to third. And Dixon Williams has an RBI double. That's RBI number 33 for him this summer, and the Gulls extend the lead.
Just like that. Dixon Williams doing Dixon Williams things.
It's a great way to put it. His 7th double of the season. In fact, he has 7 doubles, 4 home runs. All of his other hits have been singles this year. So not usually, an extra base machine per se, but he does, have that capability. As we saw, that one just ripped down the line.
I honestly would have guessed he had more doubles, but
right. He
just puts the ball in play a lot, so good things happen.
He does. Game in, game out. That's a common theme. Tyler Minnick at the plate. Now, I'm sure you've heard this. Unfortunately, Mystics' Tyler Minnick isn't in the lineup tonight, but there's a Tyler Minnick on both sides.
Yeah.
And they both hit a home run in Game 1 of Saturday's doubleheader. That's some crazy stuff, isn't it?
It was pretty cool. He might have done it again.
This
Go,
one
ball.
Back.
Oh.
Young tracing it.
Not enough.
He's got it. Not enough, but it's deep enough
Does
to
the
drive
job.
in Andrew Duncan.
Yep.
That's all that matters, right?
Exactly. It's another run. That's important. Yeah, on we played the doubleheader when? Sunday? Right? Saturday.
Yep.
Yeah, our Ty had a great swing, put one in the over the right center field wall, and then their Tyler came up and launched a grand slam off the light pole in left field. So that was a crazy first inning we had there, but it was exciting.
Both games.
Yeah, seriously.
Yeah, 18 combined runs in the first inning between both of those games. As the wind comes in from the harbor here on this Tuesday afternoon, it's Tyler Hare at the plate. He's the 8th batter of the inning here in what's been a 4-run second inning. We might need to have you more often in the booth, Aiden.
Yeah, every bottom half at Cardines, I'll come up.
How about it?
Yeah, good inning for the guys here. See if we can keep it rolling.
Absolutely. And another question for you, Aiden. There's no secret that, throughout the summer, the pitching staff has gotten more and more thin just because of a variety of reasons, with 6 total pitchers departing throughout the course of the summer. You guys did add Campbell Holt in July. He had a really good outing on Sunday as well in an unfamiliar role as a starter. So how have you guys, as part of the pitching staff, obviously more of a bullpen concern, but the starting rotation as well? I mean, Adam Marr and Jackson Tier were 2 of Newport's top guys who unfortunately had to have their summer come to a close early. So how have you guys kind of handled that and have overcome that adversity, because there's just 14 pitchers on the roster now?
Yeah, definitely a little more thin after losing some big, key starters and Colby as well to the draft.
Yes.
But I mean, if we had all those arms, we would have a crazy rotation and staff. But I mean, I just think we're all the guys are stepping up and like the other day, even though we lost to Ocean State, our bullpen, it was a bullpen game, and they pitched phenomenal, giving 100%. Up 2 runs, and that's big. We're going to need that all playoffs.
Absolutely. Tyler Hare strikes out as the 8th batter of the inning, but it's a 4-run inning nonetheless. Aiden, a pleasure having you here
thank you all so
in
much.
the booth. We really appreciate it. We'd love to have you back another time too, but I know you're focused on your work on the mound. We'll see you in the postseason. We'll take a quick break here on ESPN Plus. That's Aiden Coleman, pitcher out of Pitt for the Newport Gulls. Thank you so much.
Thank you all.
We're rolling on to the third inning here from Cardines Field alongside Andrew Fiore, and now Brendan Locke is back in the booth, we're happy to say. I'm Sam Reese. Sorry we had to sub you out for Aiden Coleman, but he came in and they scored, and Newport scored 4.
I don't blame. I'm surprised I came back and Aiden's still not here. I also tried to find some sunglasses.
Yeah.
Some real Pit Viper reflective like Aiden had, but couldn't get them in time.
That swagger's top notch.
No, it was really good, really good. I'll try my best to replace Aiden. I don't think I can identify pitches as well as he can. But we're going to try our best here.
Absolutely. Well, we're glad to have you back in the booth. We just had Aiden in the booth. I also just said hi during the break to the broadcaster of the Gulls 2 summers ago, Zach Letson. He's in the house. Great to see Zach here as there's a swing and a miss from Cheeky Dela Cruz, the last batter yet to step up into the batter's box for Mystic.
Love seeing former broadcasters.
Yes.
I mean, he's a little before me, but
yep.
Fantastic seeing old faces around. And actually, Newport's broadcaster last year had a big announcement professionally.
As that's cut on and missed.
Shout out to Quentin Pelzel. He'll be working with USA Sailing.
Whoa. Wow, there we go.
Yeah, I got to look at what the role was again. I want to say it was something with social media relations.
Awesome.
But saw it on LinkedIn, had to shout him out.
There we go. Shout out to Quentin, absolutely. He did great work in my seat last summer. As Dela Cruz, did he go? No, says the first base umpire, J.C. Fernandez. So Dela Cruz stays alive. We also have John Perrick in the house today, who is a legend around here at Cardines Field. John and Zach Letson I both know very well from Syracuse. And so they're both here supporting Newport. I'll tell you what, it's a good for a Tuesday afternoon. This is an impressive crowd. I mean, we have basically the whole area around us filled up, as well as the down the right field line near concessions. There's a fair share of fans down that line as well. It's a pretty proper environment here for a Tuesday matinee.
Decent amount of fans braving the heat out in the sun as well.
There we go, down and away. It's now a 2-2 count.
We've got some members of my family, my mom and my 2 brothers sitting over there. They're probably
there
visible on screen. Not that I can see the TV screen enough, but my little brother, a favorite among the players for the Schooners here.
Electric.
Throughout the first pitch.
Oh, that's incredible.
Yeah.
Did he deliver a strike?
It was close.
Okay.
It was better than mine from when I was a kid.
Fair
he was
enough.
right over the plate, though.
Shout out to Andrew Fiore's brother, as the count's now full to Dela Cruz.
And he was taking signs from Maddox Delano, who caught the pitch, shaking off signs. It was a great moment. Players love him. Wearing a bright orange billed cap. I don't know if he's visible on the screen, but repping the Mets as always.
Swing and a miss, but the ball skips free of Minnick, and he's still going to make the throw down in time. Tyler Minnick is having himself a day. He made that incredible catch in the first inning, and look at this throwdown, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah, he came down and was shaking his head as he walked back down to the plate. Wasn't sure if he quite got him. What a play by Austinford at first as well.
That flips the lineup card back to the top. Kean Saylor ready for his second plate appearance. Struck out in the first inning. And Nick Dorito, so far so good through 2 1/3. He brings the heat. Saylor got a piece that's fouled off.
And for the Schooners, now down 4-0. This is a big one to try to claw yourself back into, as you've got that game against Ocean State tonight, then a tentatively scheduled Vineyard game. And it's not, you don't want to go into the playoffs losing 3 in a row. So they need to start getting some wins together. If they drop to the 7 seed, they would be back here at Cardines on Thursday, a fate they're trying to avoid.
Yes, still, even though Newport is locked into the 2, a lot of seeds are not locked in yet. And there could still be plenty of movement in the final couple days. This is a bunt laid down nicely down the third base line. No throw to make for Jack Doyle. Talk about Kean Saylor putting on a clinic of how to execute a bunt.
That's one thing Kean does so well, bunting. He bunts it perfectly down the line. I want to say he did it in one of those 2 games of the doubleheader. He is a master at bunting, and he's earned a lot of singles as a result, and it's giving the Schooners some life for Christian Scanlon here.
Scanlon had a single for Mystic's first hit of the game in the first. Ball one delivered. That fastball from Dorito, Brendan. Again, I know you're no Aiden Coleman here dissecting these pitches, but you got to give yourself some credit. Just from my observations, it comes out really quickly.
It does, and he lives in kind of that 92, 93 spot as that was delivered inside. We didn't get that one on the gun, but he does live in that 92, 93 spot, and he's able to work off of it, kind of, get ahead in the count. He's really good with that fastball, which we heard Aiden talk about, and he's looked really good in this game thus far.
Now the 2-0 from Dorito. Just misses. You can see Minnick try to frame that one. But a rare 3-0 count. Doritos only walked one batter today, and that was Maddox Delana in the first. And that'll be a 4-pitch walk. Dorito misses outside, and Scanlon takes his base. Sailor slides over to second with one out.
Now you've got the power hitter Jaden Hilton stepping in. You saw him rip that single back in the first. For those of you who are watching on the NECBL Network, you saw him launch one to the parking lot in Game 2 of the doubleheader. His first as a Schooner outside of the Home Run Derby. He's got some pop. He showed it with Martha's Vineyard last year. He showed it in the Cape early on this year.
Doesn't swing at the first pitch, but it clips the bottom of the zone for a strike. Yeah, that was unbelievable where we saw, during that doubleheader, Nolan Stevens roped one 406 to right, and then Hilton somehow hit a ball further than that over to left field for his home run. I think it was slightly more than that. I might be wrong. It was destroyed anyways for his first home run, and he lines one to left, and Tyler Hare makes the leaping grab. The base runners retreat to their bags, and a second out put away by Newport.
If I could leave Aiden Coleman out to dry for just a moment, I asked him to please keep score for me in my book, and he did not do that.
Well, he was walked into the broadcast.
I know, but he said, I said, can you keep score for me? And he goes, yeah. Didn't do it. So
that's all right.
I feel like Aiden,
I will give you mine, and you can copy it during the break.
Listen, I'm used to copying stuff down from Sam Reese, so this is nothing new for me.
I think once he had the Pittsburgh conversation, it was over.
Yeah, I think that's fair.
Ooh, that had some good movement on it, but just misses the zone. Maddox Delana, the batter for Mystic.
Something interesting on Delana and Hilton here from batting practice. Hilton at BP had his bat shatter. The barrel went down by the last end of the netting, and once that piece of bat was picked up,
here's a throwdown. Minnick with a cannon. They got him! Tyler Minnick is putting on a show, ladies and gentlemen. There's the third out. We're going to the bottom of the third. Hold that thought for just a moment, Andrew, because Tyler Minnick said, I want to end the inning now. We're back in a moment. We roll on to the bottom of the third inning, and coming into the game, it was going to be a bullpen game for both sides, and Mystic has had to literally go to its actual bullpen early on in this one. Devin Wolf done after 2 innings of work, so the new man on the bump, Andrew, is Matthew Grabman, making his 6th appearance of the summer. What can you tell us about the Canadian?
Yeah, one of the few Canadians you see in this league. He's out of Dartmouth, Nova Scotia. One of the best prospects out of Canada heading into his tenure at Oregon. He was a top 200 prospect on Perfect Game, and he has really lived up for the most part. His last outing was at the Vineyard, 1 inning, 1 hit, 1 strikeout, 1 walk in 5 batters faced. Before that, allowed an earned run on 2 hits, 3 strikeouts here at Newport on July 19th, getting the loss there. He pitched 2 innings against Bristol, allowing 3 runs on 5 hits. But before that, he had not allowed an earned run in his other 2 outings, only allowed 1 hit in those 2 outings combined, including shutting down one of the best offenses in Vermont. So it's been a little up and down, but when he's on, as shown by his 11 strikeouts to 6 walks.
And he faces Matt Ossenford, who swings at the first pitch, looped down the left field line, and well, no, it veers back into play, and the diving effort was there, but the catch wasn't for Delana. He couldn't get that ball in his glove. You talked about the wind earlier, Brendan. That was absolutely the wind right there. That ball was heading out of play. It veered back in, and Delana couldn't quite make a play on it.
100%. We can see the nets in front of us that are really whipping. It's coming from our back, and that ball hung in the air a long time. Difficult play for the third baseman.
There's a strike right on the inside. Black from Grabman, who was rated the 2nd overall player in all of Canada coming out of high school. He's a rising junior with Oregon. He delivers the fastball and fouled off by Ossenfort.
Grabman, very laid-back guy, chill demeanor, and it pays off on the mound. That's what you want to be as a pitcher. You saw that from Aiden here in the booth.
Oh, yeah.
I either want that or my pitcher to be an absolute lunatic.
Max Scherzer type.
Yeah,
no in between.
Exactly.
Another foul ball from Ossenfort. How many times have we seen this all season long? No matter what batter you're talking about for Newport, battling off 2-strike pitches.
Yeah, we've seen it a lot. They love to work a high count. We talked about it in the pregame with the 14-15 pitch Nolan Stevens home run. I pointed that out as my favorite moment of the season, and happens a lot with these Gulls.
The heater way upstairs. First ball thrown to Ossenfort, who was the only batter we didn't see in that 4-run second inning.
Now I'm wondering if I save my batting practice story for next time they come up, but I keep bringing this stuff up with 2 outs. I might have to get it off early here.
Go right ahead.
So, as I was saying, Jaden Hilton at batting practice, bat shatters, top part of the barrel lands way over there, almost by where Delana just fell over. They retrieve the bat, and it's got this dark wood in the middle, either rotted some part of a tree, and everybody was staring at it.
Blasted deep right center field. It's towards the fence and off the top of it. Corralled by Hilton, and that's one of the deeper singles you'll see. Absolutely hammered by Ossenfort. And the theme continues of Andrew bringing a story up and something big happening.
Yeah, I mean, I guess they just don't want me to tell this story whatsoever. Just not meant to be. But there was nothing wrong with that bat on that hit. Smoked. But yeah, they bring it over, and it looks either rotted or something. And everybody has never seen the inside of a bat like that. And Maddox comes over, and he's like, I've got the same bat. So it brought a bit of a question. What's going to happen when Maddox comes up to the plate? Is it going to be the same type of inside, or was that just a fluky one-off weird interior bat?
Did the bat get wet? Was the wood rotted?
It was the direct middle. It looked like it might have been rotted, or it looked almost like a tree wood or something. Everybody was baffled.
Well, I mean, it would. It's a wood bat.
Well, I know it's
so
all
it would be
but
tree
you know what
wood.
I mean. It looked like it was like not even
Like bark or something.
Yeah.
I
Yes.
gotcha.
Yeah.
I got you.
More likely rotted.
Interesting stuff. 2-1 meanwhile to Randy Seymour, who, believe it or not, struck out to begin the last inning before Newport went on to explode for 4 runs. The Gulls are 6-0 this season against the Schooners, trying to make it a sweep over Mystic. Seymour got jammed, but it's a tough play to make, and Goodman bobbled it. Rather, that was Delana, the third baseman, moving in between second and third. And how about that? Not the most pretty contact off the bat, but it still gets Seymour over to first base.
It was a little swinging bunt, and it was just a difficult play for the third baseman. And it kind of short hopped him a little bit, unable to even collect the ball, never mind make the throw over to beat Seymour. And now the Gulls are in business, 2 aboard, no out.
Goes down as an error on Delana, with Carmelo Musakia at the dish. Fastball down low, and it went through the legs of Davis Johnson. Both Seymour and Austin Fort scoot over a base. They're both in scoring position for the Gulls.
This is when the Gulls lineup is really dangerous. Bottom of the order. Obviously got some bottom of the order power from Doyle, but
Yeah.
when things can roll over to the top, when the bottom of the order starts getting aboard and you can roll over to Breeny, Duncan, Williams, and Minnick, then things really start getting out of hands. And this is what we've seen from the offense a handful of times in this season.
And going to the bullpen, if you're Mystic, Andrew, already in the third inning, when this is a 7-inning game and then you got a 9-inning game tonight against Ocean State, and already seeing Grabman, that second arm of the day, struggling a bit here in the third inning. Obviously not an ideal situation at the moment for the Schooners.
And you have to wonder if they're just going to ride out with Grabman for a while, regardless of how he does, to save some arms for Ocean State and for the playoffs. And tentatively, that Vineyard game, I say tentatively because they say it depends on the playoff picture, but it also depends on the fact that there's thunderstorms slated for tomorrow in Groton.
Oof.
Look, very high probability, so...
Right.
That's
this
great.
might end up, I mean, it's probably actually great for Mystic pitching if you think about it.
True.
Gives them a day of rest for the playoffs. That might be what they prefer.
And it might keep them a seed higher depending on what could happen if that Vineyard game is played. You never know.
So there might be some rain dances coming from the Mystic dugout for tomorrow.
A sunny day right now on Tuesday on this afternoon at Cardines Field. That's a strike called on the inside corner. It's the Northeastern teammates rounding out the order in Carmelo Musakia and Jack Doyle. 1-2 to Musakia. One-two pitch. Lined, caught. Delano was right place, right time, as both Seymour and Austin Fort quickly retreated to their bags. An important first out for the Schooners.
Important and harmless. If he had flown out, they could have scored a run. Delana very heads up, looked for any chance to double up the goals, but they weren't leading off the bag enough for that.
And now here's Jack Doyle, who hit his third home run of the summer just 1 inning ago, a 2-run shot to put Newport on the board. Swings through the first pitch. I'm not going to lie, I love 6:35 nighttime games every time at Cardines, but when you have the sun out and it's not too hot, we got the breeze coming through. I like the vibe of this afternoon game as that sails up high on Doyle. It was worth a little bit of an earlier wake
I
up.
was just about to say, are you sure about that with someone who wakes up at the hour that you wake up at?
Yeah, I mean, it was still fine. I mean, it's not like I had to wake up extremely early. As that's down low, 2-1.
I mean,
I like it. And then we'll have the rest of the day, not Mystic. Sorry, Andrew. You guys have another game, but we'll be wrapped up around 4 o'clock here.
I mean, for me, I may or may not have had plans to go to Patriots training camp this morning, but
Yeah.
oh well, a nice day at the ballpark is something nonetheless.
Hey, I'm glad you got to spend it with us at least, Andrew. Always great to work with you, as it's now a 3-1 count to Jack Doyle. And as Brendan said, if the second out can't be recorded here, it could be some trouble for Mystic with the top of the order due up after this. 3-1 pitch. Swing and a miss. The first strikeout for the first, 3-2 the count. I got ahead of myself. This happened Sunday night too. I get way too excited here. This time on the Mystic side of things. It is a full count now to Jack Doyle.
I wrote K in my book. And
Oh, I've done that.
you.
I've done that
I'm
once or twice
blaming
this
you.
summer. You can. And that's in the dirt. There we go. And it's a stray ball as well. Throw comes in. The tag. Got him. Austin Fort's out at home. Davis Johnson quickly got to that ball at the backstop and flipped it over to Grabman. A nicely executed play by Mystic. That's massive right there.
Yeah, that's not a play we've seen them execute all year. We've seen them try this a few times, but never got the job done. That is huge to prevent a run and getting out on the board. And now you've got 2 out. No runs have scored thus far, but you've got those runners on the corners to worry about if you're Grabman.
It was kind of an interesting spot. Grabman looked like he tagged him right up by his chest.
Yeah.
I thought his feet may have gotten through first, but very emphatic call from the umpire as soon as he saw Grabman hung on to the ball the whole way.
Yeah, absolutely. An adamant call from home plate umpire Jacob Ashworth that the tag was there. Austin Ford out at home. Here's Nico Brini, the leadoff batter for Newport. Swings at the first pitch. He got jammed. It's staying in the infield, and it's claimed by Jack Goodman for out number 3. So the Gulls had a great chance to add on to their lead, but it stays a 4-0 game. It'll be Andrew Fiore taking over on the play-by-play duties after a quick break.
Welcome back to ESPN Plus. Had to catch myself, almost said NACBL Network there, but this is exclusively on ESPN Plus. And Sam, you pointed out at this hour we might be the headline event on ESPN Plus.
I think we really are. I'm going to open the ESPN app right now because I want to know where we are in the order if my phone loads. I'll work on that, but I think you're absolutely right, Andrew.
1 o'clock start today. It's 2:17 now, so we're a bit into this 7-inning game with the Schooners yet to score.
We're fifth.
Oh, come on.
Fifth.
Well, they got Little League.
Behind Pat McAfee show, which is cheap. He's on ESPN regular.
Sam and I give him a run for his money.
Yeah, we're decently high on there.
Alaves versus Tenerife.
Tenerife. Spanish soccer.
Okay.
Yep.
Okay. La Liga, potentially.
Yeah, I don't know why they're playing in July. I think that's a friendly.
Oh, okay. It is. It's an international
Yeah.
friendly. West Virginia against Czech Republic.
Stelena chops this one on a line to Musakia, who throws the first, no trouble, first out.
And then Philippines versus Arizona.
And that's Little League.
That's Little League
They're
World
Junior
Series.
League softball. Okay.
Oh, it's softball, not Little League World Series. It's softball.
No, the softball goes first. And then the baseball gets going.
Baseball gets going like late August.
Yeah.
That's right.
All right, we're still pretty high up there. I mean, that's
not bad at all.
No. We should be ahead of an international friendly, though. A soccer friendly.
I think putting Pat McAfee show on ESPN Plus is
That's cheating.
Is cheating.
Yeah.
I would agree.
Yeah.
Well, I feel like when somebody puts on ESPN Plus, they have something in mind.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's true.
But every once in a while, you're bored. You look
You
what's
stumble.
around.
Yeah.
Yep.
And baseball fans would be thrilled to see this, as there's a foul tip by Jack Goodman, evening the count at 1-1.
No, absolutely. That's what's great about, the NECBL on ESPN Plus, that you got a ton of sports fans from across the country that subscribe to ESPN Plus, and I'm sure a lot of times, just like myself, I'll just scroll through looking for something to watch, and I'm sure a lot of fans have stumbled across the league as a result of that, which is only great for the brand of the NECBL.
Garrido facing off against Goodman. That pitch in the dirt now, 2-1. Our biggest competition is probably the Olympics right now. I don't know how much of it you've watched, but I was watching some mountain biking yesterday.
Ooh.
Early in the morning, it was
Yeah.
insane. I mean, they purposely put the rocks in the path. They have to swerve around trees. It was after this pitch, which goes high, so Goodman really working a good at bat here against some high heat. That 90-mile-an-hour pitch goes high, ball 3. But It was a Brit and a Frenchman battling, and the Brit had the lead for almost the entire time with the Frenchman right behind him, and the Frenchman passes him at the last second, only for the Brit to take it back, as there's a big whiff on a pitch low and away, full count.
I got deep into the water polo.
Oh, that's another
awesome.
one.
The water polo is unbelievable.
Love water polo. I don't know how they tread the water that long.
Unbelievable.
It's like watching hockey, but in a pool.
It's crazy. Handball's a good one, too. Love me some handball.
Saw some rugby yesterday, too, as Goodman smacks this one to the glove of Dorito, who's just going to flip it over. Dorito has to battle his way back, but he retires Goodman for the second out.
Nice play by Dorito. Just glove positioning, nice little quick reflexes, and then the simple little toss over to Austin for it.
Guess you could say he snagged that like a water polo goalie.
Potentially.
There we go.
U.S. women's basketball playing yesterday as well, decimating Japan.
Yeah, they won by like 100, didn't they?
Something
Not
like
quite that much, but
that's how it felt.
it was 28 or something.
Scotty Young watches the pitch go outside, and actually URI women's basketball coach Tammy Reese is over there helping them.
Oh. I think I saw that 6 of USA's players were taller than Japan's tallest player.
Yes.
Wow.
Oh, Japan had several.
As Young bizarrely lays this one on the ground to Seymour, who flips the first, and they say he got him. One of the weirder hits you'll see on a line ends the inning. 1, 2, 3, go the Schooners. We will be back with more on the other side of the break on ESPN+.
In times of war, peace, and every day in between, our military stays vigilant to protect our country. At Hope for the Warriors, we never forget them or the families who serve alongside them. Since 2006, Hope for the Warriors has provided life-transforming programs for active duty and veterans, military families and caregivers, families of the fallen. Go to hopeforthewarriors.org to give hope today.
The Mystic Drawbridge, over 100 years old and the only one of its kind. Arguably the most photographed structure in Mystic, it guards the Mystic River and connects our downtown. Just one of the many attractions you'll find in our corner of Connecticut, just 2 hours from New York and 90 minutes from Boston. Head to mysticchamber.org to plan your next trip to Mystic.
Welcome back. It has been a smooth game so far for the Gulls. Pun intended with smooth by Santana playing over the speakers here.
There we go.
Somebody looking for a smooth outing is the new pitcher for Mystic, Jordan Moreau, who's only pitched twice for the Schooners. Went an inning against Bristol, 4 earned runs, 4 hits, 2 strikeouts in 8 batters faced on July 7th, a 17-5 loss for the Schooners at Muzzy Field. Then on the 16th, he went 1 out, 1 batter faced, 1 strikeout.
There you
go.
go.
A simple, quick outing for him. It's been a while. His ERA sits at 27, but obviously with a ledger like that, you can't take too much from the ERA. He's out of Stonehill College, a senior there from Johnston, Rhode Island. Sharing a hometown with Joe Mazzulla, head coach of the Boston Celtics.
Sharing a high school as well, Bishop Hendricken.
Yeah, Bishop Hendricken, a huge sports school with a lot of history. I believe the Minnesota Twins manager went there as well.
Correct.
Mets beating him up yesterday. But Moreau looking in his home state to get some clean innings here and buy some time for a bullpen that needs to get ready to go for a second game. Hendricken also had Quiddy Pay drafted a few years back by the Indianapolis Colts, a great sports school.
Number of hockey players.
That's true as well.
I knew. There's the hockey mention. Every broadcast, Brendan gets hockey in.
Well, I snuck it in with the water polo comparison.
That's true. That's true. You did.
Yeah.
So now I have to mention it.
Yep.
Last time I was here, I remember talking about the Oilers-Panthers series.
Yes, that's right.
Sure.
One that didn't end our way. And by our, I mean anybody who does not like the Florida Panthers.
That's fair.
As the first hitter, Andrew Duncan, steps up. He has a hit and a walk, and he's going to smack this one center. In comes Saylor, and it's going to drop in front of him. Ball kind of died in the air there, but Duncan is aboard yet again for the third time in this one.
Saylor looked like he may have even gotten a tough jump on it, or he slipped a little bit out in center and came up a good couple feet short, as well as that ball just kind of dying out of the air.
Dixon Williams, a tough hitter, had an RBI double in the second. One of the toughest hitters in this league with nobody out and a runner on. The first pitch from Moreau, low for ball one.
Yeah, that's huge for Andrew Duncan as well. He's reached base all 3 plate appearances tonight. A couple of singles, a walk. He's getting his confidence back just when Newport wants it.
Runner goes, and Johnson's not going to make the throw. In at second with a steal is Andrew Duncan, and the Gulls already have a runner in scoring position here.
He would have been safe regardless. He was about halfway to second base before the ball was even released by Moreau.
Just not what you want if you're the Schooners, trying to get back on track after getting swept in the doubleheader. You've got the game against Ocean State tonight, and now suddenly the Valley Blue Sox are breathing down their necks. They have a doubleheader as well. That one is fouled into the netting. If Valley can sweep that and Mystic gets swept in their doubleheader, I believe Valley jumps the Schooners as the 6, and the Schooners would be in line to play the Gulls. If my I'm no Ian Benke here.
Yeah, that
Where
would
would that
would put Valley at 23-20. The Schooners would be down to 22-21.
And then it would depend on where the Sharks land.
Yeah.
That pitch inside. I think the Sharks are 2 games behind the Schooners.
Correct.
They would have a bit of work
Correct.
to do, and that's who the Schooners would play. Again, another reason why a rainout would help the Schooners,
Yeah.
as it would prevent Vineyard from even jumping them. But it looks like the options for the Schooners are down to the Blues or the Gulls, both of whom made the finals last year. Wind up the pitch from Moreau is fouled into the netting again. So the count runs full.
And so the interesting thing as well out there in the West is that if Valley sweeps Bristol in the doubleheader today, they actually still have a chance to catch Bristol for the West Division, believe it or not. So the Blues haven't put away that division, but if they win one of those games today, they will.
That's another good point. That could help the Schooners out quite a bit as that goes outside ball 4.
And that would be really remarkable because a few days ago, Valley was, if I'm not mistaken, on the outside looking in. They were in the 9 spot for a few days. Imagine if they were to come all the way back, win the division over Bristol, and end up being the 3 seed when a week before the season ended, they were outside of the playoffs.
Unbelievable. The Schooners would have to play them if they can keep the 6 spot. They were 2-0 against Valley, have their way against them more than they do Bristol. But when a team's as hot as Valley has been, you have to wonder. I mean, look at Ocean State last year. They just barely snuck in the playoffs and came here to Cardines and beat the Gulls, which was the first Waves win at Cardines since 2018, let alone in the playoffs. So they came in with some momentum, were able to do some damage. The Gulls ended up winning, obviously, as that pitch goes upstairs. Ball 1 to the next hitter, Tyler Minnick, who had a sac fly RBI. Oh, excuse me, that is Bazo pinch hitting. I was so wrapped up in my standings that I missed that.
And you have to think that this is because of a pitching change. Somebody coming in that Bazo's more comfortable with behind the plate coming in for Minnick, obviously. Heck of a game through 3 innings, basically. 3.5 innings for Tyler Minnick. And so we've seen that a couple of times that the tri-catcher rotation has been rolling for the Gulls.
Moreau eyes the runner. There he goes. It's a double steal attempt, and they're both going to be in standing. Duncan goes to third, Williams to second. 2 runners in scoring position now for the Gulls.
Once again, the speed of Duncan, just too much. We were asking the guys a little bit earlier what Olympic sport they thought they could medal in. Andrew was the quickest answer, track and field.
That pitch over the heart of the plate. Bozzo thought he had ball 4. We heard a fire engine honk right as the pitch was thrown.
They're trying to get through.
Can't blame him. That's obviously more important in the
Yes.
situation.
Massively important. Shout out to Newport FD.
Absolutely.
Far more important. Don't know if it messed up either of the two of them, but they need to get out of the way quickly and to where they need to go, as that ball is headed down to the corner. It's going to be extra bases. 1 run is in. Here comes Dixon Williams with the second, and in at first with a 2 RBI single is Greg Bozzo. No distraction there. And the Gulls lead is up to 6-0.
Well, can you tell this team was hungry after just being limited to 2 hits on Sunday? A very uncharacteristic offensive performance in Sunday's 2-0 loss to Ocean State. All of a sudden today, everyone's delivering, and that was a great example of it. Tyler Minnick, who is having a great day behind the dish, also had a sac fly at the plate, replaced by Greg Bozzo in the 4th. What does Bozzo do? He comes in, records a 2 RBI single.
Now it's Tyler Hare who fouls off the first pitch into the street.
On to America's Cup Avenue. Please, Andrew. Please.
I should know that by now. This is 20 America's Cup Avenue, if I am correct.
I don't even know.
You're asking the wrong 2 guys.
I should know that, but well, actually, no, I shouldn't. I just put in. I know where the field is. I don't know the address.
There goes Bozzo. The throw over to second is a dart, but not in time, as Bozzo had a great jump there. Runner in scoring position yet again, and you knew this was going to come up at some point. By the way, today is the MLB trade deadline, and we already see some moves today. Trevor Rogers leaving the Miami Marlins and going to the Baltimore Orioles. And look at that. It is 20 America's Cup Avenue. I've still got it, folks.
You've still got it. Yep. Yes, sir.
Unbelievable. Unbelievable.
Now I know. 20.
Mark Leiter Jr. going from the Cubs to the Yankees, as there's a big swing and a miss from Tyler Hare. That goes in exchange for Jack Neely and Ben Cowles. So some moves early. We saw the Cubs also got Isaac Paredes. So they're surprisingly buyers.
Yeah. Always fun to see the last-second moves for the trade deadline.
It is, and I know my Mets are going to be busy today as Tyler Hare makes the defense give that one a look, but they're not going to be too busy. That's fouled off for strike 2. 1-2, no out, runner on second.
And I love the way Newport has come out saying, we want to win this game, come into the playoffs with some momentum. I mean, they're locked into the 2 seed. The Gulls could have easily said, we don't really have to take this game serious. But you can see they're using this as preparation for Thursday's game 1 of the playoffs.
Especially considering they could be facing these Mystic Schooners. And that one's going to be laced down the line. Instead, this time it's into the glove of Willie for out number 1.
Tough break. We'd love to see the speed off the bat of that one. That was ripped down the right field line, but just directly to the first baseman, Willie.
So that'll bring up Matt Austinfor, who had a single, and he was thrown out at the plate. Slight lead off second for Bozzo, and this one's going to be smacked into center. It's going to drop next to Saylor. Another base hit for the Gulls. Runners at the corners with 1 away.
It's just everyone that's been producing in this Newport lineup. That's now a couple of hits for Matt Austinfort in that 6-hole. And this is the Newport offense that we've been accustomed to all summer long. I mean, Sunday was very out of the ordinary, where there were just 2 hits, one from the guy coming up now and Randy Seymour, and one from Nico Brini. But usually it's a whole collective effort up and down the lineup that delivers time and time again for Newport, and that's been on full display tonight, where every batter, in fact, has made it on base this game.
First and third, 1 away, and that one is smacked into left. Getting under it, Young. He makes the catch, and it looks like it's going to be enough for Bozzo. The throw in is offline, and the Gulls have scored their 7th run, dropping a touchdown on the Schooners.
And there's the extra point to boot from Randy Seymour. Just, really good knowing the situation with one out. A sack fly will do. We saw Tyler Minnick have a sack fly earlier in the game. It's not just about getting on base. It's also making plays like that, knowing the situation. And Newport's got to be pleased with how this one's playing out.
I guess a sack fly is the closest thing baseball has to an extra point.
Yeah, you could say that.
Randy Seymour with the sack fly there to drive in the run. And now it's Carmelo Usakia with the runner on first. Rowe gets a swinging strike there, 1-1. I have a pointless question to you that is probably a stupid one, but
Sure, we love those here.
It's going to be entertaining nonetheless. If you could imagine any CBL trade deadline as this pitch goes outside, what do you think that would look like?
I think the Gulls would try to buy some pitching.
That's a safe bet, I think. That would be fascinating.
It would be chaotic and hilarious.
That would
I'd
be
have
electric.
to imagine.
Yes, that would be nuts.
I think teams like the Gulls would benefit the most from it, as that one goes upstairs. NCBL trade deadline probably being a week before the playoffs would be entertaining for sure.
Oh, yeah.
Something to imagine here on trade deadline day. I see a Cubs fan in the crowd. Good day for him. I don't know if he's seen the news yet. That's a big swing and a miss. 88 miles an hour makes the count full. Three balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Runner on first. Moreau trying to get out of the inning. Wind up the pitch. There goes the runner. It's foul tipped, so we'll have to start over again. Again, this is only a 7-inning game, so there would only be 3 innings left after this. 2.5 if the Gulls hold this lead. Mystic again. Game 2 of the doubleheader over in Wakefield, Rhode Island. Wind up the pitch. Runner goes again. It's inside. Ball 4, and we'll keep going.
Yeah, and I mean, never say never, but with the deficit the way it is for Mystic trailing by 7 and the fact that you have another game, a 9-inning game later tonight, at this point it's about limiting the damage, really, Andrew. I mean, obviously you'd like to think you could come back, but this is a 7-inning game, and I think the pitching has got to be #1 priority for the Schooners. The last thing you want is for batters to continue to reach base, and the pitch count continuing to get higher for these bullpen guys.
Pitch inside to the 9-hitter, Jack Doyle, who had the 2-run home run that started the scoring way back in the second. And I think you're right. You have to keep the pitching as your main concern if you're Mystic.
Right.
Maybe give Moreau a few innings regardless of what happens. He's going to get a strike in there.
And I mean, after all, of course it'll be disappointing for Mystic if they lose this game, as Newport has a quite the lead here, 7-0 in the fourth. But in the same breath, if you beat Ocean State tonight, a playoff berth is clinched. So there's still something to look forward to later in the day.
That pitch launched but foul. And that is an Ocean State team that has been pretty hot, as you saw the other night, Sam.
Yeah, I mean, a massive win here in Newport on Sunday night, and then they back that up with a victory on the road at North Shore. The Waves are staying alive in that race. That Waves Schooners game tonight is going to be massive in terms of those playoff implications.
Also keeping an eye on the Valley Bristol doubleheader, but right here, right now, it is a swing and a miss for Moreau to end the inning. But not before Newport tacks on a trio of runs. We head to the 5th inning with Newport ahead, 7-0. got a Beach Boys looking car out there.
Oh.
Fitting the beach Rhode Island vibe here. Late summer, last days of July. As Davis Johnson steps into the plate now for the Schooners. Down 7-0. Johnson had a fantastic batting practice today. The Johnston, Rhode Island natives sent a few over. He's Providence. Moreau is Johnston, but all right up in that Metro Providence area. But Johnson sent a few over the fence in BP as he watches that pitch go upstairs for a ball. Johnson was the Rhode Island High School Catcher of the Year by the Providence Journal. Said he knows a lot of the guys on the Ocean State team since they're from Rhode Island. He'll get to see a lot of them tonight. He bemoaned the fact that Newport has had his number this season. Looking for some of that batting practice magic to translate to the game here, but he's ahead in the count 2-0 against Dorito, who's still on the mound. The wind-up the pitch is smacked deep into center, but it looks like Duncan is going to make the catch for out number 1.
I mean, promising contact off the bat for Johnson, who's had his ups and downs at the plate throughout the summer. Looked promising, but I guess the wind playing a factor as well. Seen a lot of balls just dying down quickly in that outfield. That's what makes that Jack Doyle home run quite impressive.
It was, and we've seen it kind of come into the batter's face, as well as being behind, and I think that is part of what helped carry Doyle's ball to deep left field was being downwind.
Now it's Mark Willie who takes a big hack at a pitch there. 0-2 already for him.
Dorito working quickly.
I was just going to say that. I was going to say something that we haven't talked about enough is Dorito's performance in this game. Impressive stuff.
That pitch skips in the dirt for a ball to Willie, who in this game is just struck out. The amount of times the Gulls hitters have been up compared to the Schooners hitters tells you all you need to know about how this has gone. The 9-hitter for Newport had 3 at-bats already. Dela Cruz only has 1 as Willie fouls that one. I think it almost got lodged up there, but instead bounces back onto the field to Dela Cruz, who takes it up.
Shout out to netting pros.
Absolutely.
Netting Pros, the official netting partner of the New England League. The netting and wall padding products have been featured as there's a swing and a miss, strike 3. In Major League venues such as the Great City Field and the terrible Truist Park, no bias whatsoever there. And many collegiate facilities throughout the country, including Florida, North Carolina, Binghamton, Texas, and many more. From design to fabrication to installation, Netting Pros is improving programs one facility at a time. So Willie has 2 strikeouts on the day. Dela Cruz trying to avoid the same fate against Dorito.
City Field is tremendous.
Oh, it is.
I
am so excited to go back there as there's strike 1.
It's better than the other park in town, that's for sure.
I don't think Yankee Stadium is that bad, to be honest. As a Mets fan, I do not think it's that bad. Citi Field is the superior ballpark by far, and I've had Yankees fans tell me such. As Dela Cruz smacks that one, and it's going to drop for a base hit down the left field line. Dela Cruz has a lot of speed, so he's going to head into second standing. First hit since the 3rd inning for Mystic. Double puts them in scoring position now with 2 away, and Kean Saylor stepping in.
That was really nicely done by Dela Cruz. Just sat on that off speed, turned on it quickly, and fired it down the left field line. Now Mystic can try to cut into that lead with, at about the halfway point of this game.
Dela Cruz, someone who had a long slump of about a month with only 1 hit, has recently been stringing together some hits to climb up in the batting order rankings. That one dips in there for a strike. Great pitch there by Dorito, 78 miles an hour.
As we mentioned, this is Dorito's first start of the summer. His 11 previous appearances out of the bullpen. His longest outing was 2 1/3 innings.
Saylor takes a big cut at another pitch that breaks low, 0-2.
And this is something that we've seen Dorito do. It's something that we've seen Coleman do, is they go later in the games. They rely more on the off speed. The fastball loses a little velocity. And now they're getting ahead in counts using off speed.
0-2 now with 2 away. The pitch is swung on and missed for strike 3. Another strikeout for Dorito, who continues to dazzle. 1, 2, 3, one hit, 1 left on for the Schooners. Not quite 1, 2, 3, but good enough to put a 0 on the board. We'll be back with more on ESPN Plus.
At the time, I was a firefighter in Little Compton, and I was teaching a lot of classes. And being up there at 330 pounds was somewhat hypocritical. South Coast Health was excellent in providing the tools and the opportunities. You're re-taught to eat after the surgery. It was exciting to finally know that I was getting to where I wanted to be. Having kids, a 9-year-old son, it makes me feel really good that I'm in better shape to enjoy his childhood with him. I'm very happy. Very happy.
Welcome back to Cardines Field here. A lot of fun being had by the fans here. Tons of kids in the park today looking for autographs. Dorito absolutely dealing. He's been consistent. He's been cool, almost like a Cool Ranch Dorito, Sam.
Oh, say that again.
He's got a fantastic name, and I believe Brendan has been working on his own name team.
It will be released. It will be released. You can't put me on the spot like this.
By the end of the summer,
as long
you'll
as
have,
Evan,
you'll have the all-name team.
Yeah, exactly.
As long as Evan Hamburger finds a way on
oh,
that team.
for sure, Evan Hamburger, as will Nick Dorito.
Cheeky Dela Cruz,
Yeah.
I think
Cheeky
is
Dela Cruz is a
fantastic.
great one. We're gonna trust me. I'm the GM. We're gonna build a team here.
I feel like I'm in Moneyball right now.
Exactly.
There will be the NECV, the all NECBL first team, second team, and then Brendan's all-name team.
Name team.
First pitch from Moreau goes outside to Nico Brini, who has a single and a steal in this one. Looks like Moreau doing the job of trying to keep some rest for Schooners relievers. As that one pops out of Johnson's glove. And back to the on-deck hitter, Andrew Duncan. 5th inning here in a 7-0 7-inning game. Rose wind up and pitch inside. And if this score holds, it would be almost ironic, as the Gulls would be 7-0 against the Schooners, blanking them 7-0.
Yeah, I guess that would be a fitting way.
As that pitch goes over the heart of the plate for a strike, it's 3-1. A 7-0 game wouldn't be the worst case scenario for the Schooners here, as Brino pops that one up. 3 Schooners converge. It's going to be Dela Cruz who comes over to make the catch for out number 1.
A nice concentration by Dela Cruz, the second baseman, who went pretty far out there, venturing into the grass in right field for that first out.
There's a lot going on there between the siren, the wind, the sun.
I was thinking the same thing.
Backtracking to his left. Tricky play for the second baseman, but a nice one, and now 1 down.
Easily the most sirens we've had in the game. I guess it makes more sense. There's more going on during the day.
Are there more fires during weekdays?
Are there?
Weekdays at 1 o'clock
Then at night?
Wednesdays at 6:30?
Maybe the dry heat? I'm not sure.
I don't know.
The wind to fan the flames, I guess?
Well, this is definitely, but I'm not crazy, right? That's the most sirens we've
easily.
had. Easily. Yeah.
Easily.
Yeah.
I guess it somewhat makes sense, as
I
it's 1-0
guess.
now.
No, it doesn't. How does it make sense?
During the day, I don't
People
know.
are
The
at work.
sun's out. Maybe
The
people are
sun's out.
people taking magnifying glasses trying to burn some ants and
sun's
something
out?
runs amok. I don't know.
Oh,
I don't know what they do
God.
up here.
Get these guys out of here.
Dry heat. Well, what's going on at night? Failed fireworks as that pitch runs inside.
Maybe.
How are fires starting at night over here, Brendan?
I don't
That's
know.
what I'm saying.
I'm not a member of Newport FD.
We'll have to do like a investigation on like the amount they're called into action during the day hours compared to the night.
Yeah, exactly.
Whoa! Cameraman drilled there on that foul.
Chris was unfazed too.
Unbelievable.
Not enough netting pros to stop that one.
Chris, once again. We're getting a thumbs up from Joey Rizzi.
Chris is good.
3-1 drills him. So Duncan does his best impression of the cameraman up there. And he'll get a trip to first. No trip to first for the cameraman up there, but Duncan
That was crazy.
heads over the
What a
first.
sequence of events.
And it's good to see Duncan's all right as well.
Oh, jeez.
Wow. Everyone's getting drilled. I hope we're protected.
I guess
back here.
everybody's catching
We
fire
have
today,
netting.
you could say.
There we go.
Thank you. Thank you.
Running out of control like a wildfire, these stray balls. It's going to be Dixon Williams, who has been on fire. Maybe that's part of the reason that these sirens has been going off. Williams, fielder's choice, RBI double and a walk. A steal as well, 1 RBI on his tally. Looking to set the Newport offense ablaze.
Oh, he's certainly the guy to do it. I mean, when we had Aiden on, he talked about it too. He just finds a way.
Randy Seymour said he was the best player he ever played with.
There we go.
That's saying a lot, and we saw this certainly during that doubleheader. In Game 1, he had an RBI double and a sac fly. Game 2, he went 0 for 4, however. A rare, quiet day as that one skips to the backstop. Looked like it was almost going to hit him, but apparently not. Runner goes over to second, so Duncan is in at second base.
Yeah, I'm trying to think of the exact words Aiden said, but he said something along those lines. He's about Dixon, saying he's like the best hitter. Did he say that? Best hitter he's ever played with? Something along those lines, Aiden said. I mean, he had high praise for Dixon Williams.
Swing and a miss there. High heat, 90 miles an hour as the sirens go off trying to quench that.
More distant sirens this time. A lot going on a Tuesday afternoon
We
in
do
Newport.
hope everyone's safe.
Yeah,
As
absolutely.
much
Of
as
course,
we've
of
been-
course. That
Oh,
goes
100%.
That goes
Yes.
without saying.
Runner on second now, 1 away. There goes the runner to third. Fouled off, so Duncan's going to have to head back to second. Moreau looking for another quiet inning. More sirens going off. We do hope everyone's okay here. This has been the most I've ever seen at a game here.
Yeah, no, absolutely.
Wind up the pitch from Moreau, runs inside for another ball. Count now 3-2, 1 away. Duncan had run to third. You wonder if he's going to do it again on the full count pitch here. Wind up the pitch. Just low, ball 4, 2 on now for the Gulls.
And that's the thing about Dixon Williams. I mean, an elite hitter batting near 400, but that's also the 21st walk he's drawn in his 30th game of the summer. So he's a swing-happy type of hitter because of how good of a batter he is, but he can also have that patience at times with base runners on, as we see another mound visit. And will it be another call to the bullpen? That's the question. It will, Andrew.
Manager Phil Orby makes the change. We'll have more on the replacement for Moreau on the other side of the break. Welcome back. We have our answer, and it's going to be Kean Saylor, the center fielder for the Schooners, coming in to pitch. This is actually not the first time he has pitched against the Gulls this season. He came in his first game here.
Yes.
Against the Gulls. He hasn't pitched in a while. His ERA on the season is 10.80 in 3 games. 1.2 innings pitched. 3 hits, 2 runs, both earned. 1 home run, 1 walk, 1 strikeout on the season for him. He did some pitching at his school, Fordham. And he actually did some pitching. He was one of the best relievers for the Valley Blue Sox last season.
Right.
So not unprecedented, but it has been a long time since he pitched. 1 inning against North Adams, no hits, no runs, no walks, no strikeouts. So it was a good last outing.
All the way back on June 18th, to your point, Andrew. So it's been a long, long time since we've seen Kean Saylor on the bump, but considering Mystics playing 2 games today, has another one in all likelihood tomorrow before the playoffs start Thursday, you can't really blame them for going to the strategy as we try to sort out the rest of the defensive changes.
So Nick Solorzano is in the game now at second base, and I think they moved Cheeky Dela Cruz out to center.
Yeah.
Everybody's going to come in towards Saylor, playing by the mound, who makes the catch for his first out and out number 2 on the inning.
I think you are correct in saying that, Andrew. Yep,
Yes.
That's definitely Dela Cruz in center. And Solorzano has taken Dela Cruz's position at second base, so that makes sense.
Saylor pitched .2 innings, allowed 2 runs, 1 hit, 1 walk, 1 strikeout as that strike skips away from Johnson. That was in a narrow game, and I remember we were confused on the decision, Sam.
Yes.
It was a 1-run game. He hadn't pitched for the whole summer. This time, it makes far more sense, though.
100%.
And you already saw the benefits of having an outfielder pitch on that pop-up by the mound. That one's chopped foul. So now 0-2. Saylor could get out of this without breaking a sweat.
And that would be superb for Mystic. I mean, they've clearly made it known that they don't want to go to any more bullpen arms. You can't blame them with that 9-inning game later tonight at Ocean State.
Wind up the pitch from Saylor, skips in the dirt in front. Mystic no stranger to having position players pitch here at Cardines Field. Last summer in Game 2 of that doubleheader that Mystic won Game 1 of, Maddox Delana came in down 10 and hit 90 on the radar gun.
Wow.
He hadn't pitched in college, but he had some experience back home. That pitch goes over the plate, strike 3. So Saylor comes in and gets the 2 outs the Schooners need, ending the 5th inning. Still 7-0 Gulls here on ESPN+.
Yes. Yes. Yes.
On to the 6th inning on a sunny afternoon in Newport, Rhode Island. Great time to remind you that Launch Hydrate is the official sports drink of the NECBL on ESPN+. Launch Hydrate's unique formula helps athletes achieve peak performance at every critical moment, supporting improved focus, rapid hydration, and faster recovery. For orders and information, please visit launchhydrate.com. Well, it's a new man on the mound for the Gulls. Nick Dorito was really solid in his first start of the summer, going 5 innings of scoreless baseball, just 4 hits allowed, 2 walks to 6 strikeouts in 19 batters faced. And the man taking over for him is Mitchell Dean, the lefty out of Louisville, who we haven't seen in a while, Brendan. This is his 6th appearance of the summer. His last outing was all the way back on July 5th here against Danbury.
Yeah, I'm trying to remember the last time. I don't think I've seen him while I was in the booth, and we really haven't seen him a lot at all this season. So a chance for him to show out and potentially earn himself a spot in the rotation or in the bullpen as playoffs come through if they need an arm.
Really good opportunity for Dean to get some innings under his belt before that postseason as he delivers ball 1 to Christian Scanlon. In his 5 appearances this summer, just 2 2/3 innings, 6 walks, 4 Ks. Now 2-0 the count. Three straight balls thrown by Mitchell Dean. And so I should correct myself. So Nick Solorzano has taken over for Christian Scanlon in that number 2 spot, Andrew. And Solorzano, speaking of him, gets drilled in the leg as he's hit by a pitch.
Not the first time you've mixed up Solorzano and Scanlon here, Sam. You knew that was coming back, but Solorzano had that 3-run homer to tie the game the first outing. He gets a walk there, and he'll be playing second base as we talked about on the other side. So taking the DH spot in the order, but the second base spot on the field.
A little confusing, but that's what happens when you have a player who starts in the field to start the game. A pitch later on in that contest, as we saw with Kean Saylor. Jaden Hilton is now the batter for Mystic. Swing and a miss to make it 1-1. There's the first strike from Dean today. And that's a straight pitch as the runner in Solorzano advances to second, and he's easily in the scoring position.
Bizarre just slipped right out of his hands. Red Sox fans will be hoping that the ball doesn't slip out like that too much from Lucas Sims, who they just acquired from the Cincinnati Reds in exchange for Ovis Portes in the minor leagues. So Red Sox fans, you have a move today so far.
There we go. Fastball clips the outside edge. That's more like it from Mitchell Dean. 85, I should say. I was going to say that wasn't super fast, I thought, but it was effective nonetheless on Jaden Hilton. Here comes the 2-2 with nobody out. Hilton fouls it off on a pitch inside.
Something else we have here, too, by the way, Josh Bell to the Diamondbacks. He has been hopping all over the place.
Yeah. 2-2 again, and that struck Hilton. He got clipped. So back-to-back hit by pitches for Mitchell Dean. Has runners now on first and second with nobody out.
Both pitches is slipping away there. He's struggling to control here. And a swing of the bat could make this a 4-run ball game with 2 innings to go. You never know in this sport what could happen. And Maddox Delana coming up, a big power hitter, and it's Drew Crone heading to the leadoff, or the on-deck circle for Jack Goodman.
So the Schooners are really are, trying everything they can. As we see the Newport bullpen already active, that's Cal Randall getting loose, who just started a few days ago back on Saturday in Game 1 of that doubleheader against Mystic, where he was unfortunately pulled without an out recorded in the first inning after he walked 4 batters. But Randall, a very capable arm nonetheless, out of the bullpen in his usual role. So if Newport has to go to it, that is an option. 1-0 to Maddox Delana. There's a strike from Dean, right on the outside part of the plate. Delano was walked back in the first. Wouldn't mind drawing the same result here, third time up in the sixth. Similar location, but just outside this time, according to home plate umpire Jacob Ashworth. Two-one from Dean. Down and away. Nobody out. Nick Solorzano and Jaden Hilton, the two base runners that reached via hit by pitches. Dean fires in the 3-1, outside ball 4. The 5-pitch walk loads up the bases for Mystic.
You don't want to get too complacent when you're ahead if you're Newport. And again, one swing of the bat changes the complexion of this game. And Mystic's a team that can have some big innings. So not something you really want to play around with, especially as more and more pinch hitters come in for the Schooners. Drew Crone, one of them, out of UConn. He's had a hot month. Very quiet start to the season for him, but then he has picked it up and really been one of the sparks for Mystic so far this month.
He also played 28 games for Mystic last summer. As we see pitching coach Kevin Long having a word with Mitchell Dean here. You got to feel for Dean a little bit, Brendan, because unfortunately for him this summer, that command just hasn't been where he's wanted it. And the struggles here evident in the 6th inning as he tries to settle in and refine that zone with the bases loaded and nobody out.
Well, in his case, it's hard to get into a rhythm. You know, you set for basically a month, and now you get thrown into the position, not a high-pressure situation, but it's turned into a high-pressure situation with now the bases loaded and nobody out.
Ball 1 in the dirt. And that actually clipped the left foot of home plate umpire Jacob Ashworth, I believe, or else that ball could have gone to the backstop and potentially driven in a run.
You never know with these short backstops here at Cardines. It's not like other parks.
Deep drive, left field, back towards the fence, and it is gone. A grand slam for Drew Crone, and Mystic has made it a 3-run ball game here in the 6th.
Something about these UConn hitters and their grand slams against the Gulls. Like I said, one swing could change it, and now it's a 3-run ball game. Drew Crone, pinch hit grand slam. Mystic's back alive, folks.
Crone knew it as soon as he hit it. It was a mistake by Dean. He left it over the middle, and Crone just absolutely barreled it. No doubt being downwind as well. All Hare could do was turn up and look at it, and it is... This game is far, far from over at this point.
Now we see manager Mike Coombs coming to the mound, and it appears as though there's going to be a change made by Newport. So an unfortunate outing for Mitchell Dean in his first appearance since July 5th. And the call made to the bullpen will fill you in on who the new man is. It's Mason Ulsh. We'll get those details to you after a quick break here. We actually are going to stay here. So I lied. You know, we're gonna keep it here. We've got time. We're going to talk about Mason Ulsh. How about that here on ESPN Plus as he enters the game for the Gulls. Obviously, you know, not the spot you want to be, not the spot you wanted to be put into. At least the bases are empty for Ulsh to take over after that grand slam, Brendan. And once again, you know, just unfortunate to see for Mitchell Dean, who came in, had an opportunity to get, you know, some meaningful innings down the stretch here in the regular season finale for the Gulls, and it just didn't go his way.
Yeah, and it was just an unfortunate, you know, kind of got behind himself, and with two runners aboard, then you start pressing. A couple walks in a row, a hit by pitch, and And then when he tries to attack the zone, he just makes a mistake, and it ends up leaving the yard. And now the pressure switches onto Mason Ulch, the just finished his junior year at Quinnipiac, but kind of a high-pressure situation. You don't want to get anybody aboard. You need to get out of this inning as quickly as possible if you're Mason Ulch.
You mentioned it, Ulch, a rising senior at Quinnipiac, making his 7th appearance of the summer, an ERA right around 5. In 7 innings of work, 3 walks, 4 strikeouts. And his last appearance was just 3 days ago on Saturday in Game 1 of that doubleheader against this very Mystic team. He went 2 innings of scoreless baseball, allowing 3 hits with no walks and 1 strikeout. Ulsh is also a third-year NECBL player. He spent the last 2 summers with the Bristol Blues, now with the Newport Gulls, so very familiar with this league. A righty who's known for his slider, excels at getting batters to swing and miss, and can really be put into any type of situation. And he is being put into a situation here where, I guess, Andrew, it's almost like you're getting a fresh start to begin the inning. You know, you wipe away that grand slam from Ulsh's perspective where you're coming in, it's almost like you're starting the 6th inning. No outs, nobody on base, kind of starting from scratch here.
Oh, absolutely. It's got to feel refreshing. Feels like a clean inning, like you said, no one on, no one out. For the Schooners, though, they did just what they did in that first inning in the doubleheader Game 1, a grand slam to get right back in it. 3 runs is not that much. They were able to claw back from that in the bottom of the 9th. One game here.
Scotty Young showing bunt there, but backs out as it's outside for ball 1. And yeah, we've got ourselves a game all of a sudden, Andrew.
And I almost said to you, I was saying a home run could change it. I almost said it with Crone, like I did with Minnick. I'm not going to take credit for that. The 2 Grand Slam predictions. That Minnick one was bizarre, though.
That was. Now 1-1 to Scotty Young, Mystics left fielder, who will be transferring to Old Dominion. Loops one foul off to the left side as a big swarm of wind breezes through here at Cardines Field.
It's ironic that Ulsh warmed up to Don't Stop Believin', and that song more fitting for the Schooners right now.
Yeah.
Than the Gulls.
True.
1-2 offering. Swing and a miss. How about that for an off-speed pitch? Young retired, and that's exactly how Ulsh wanted to start his outing.
77 miles an hour, starts at his belt buckle, ends at his back foot. Tremendous put-away pitch, and that's exactly the start that Ulsh was looking for.
And this isn't the only game going on in the league anymore. Bristol and Valley have begun Game 1 of their doubleheader, and the Blues have taken an early lead over the Blue Sox. It's 1-0 in the top of the first. Line drive by Davis Johnson, and that's out to right field. Down towards the corner, Brini scoops it up, and hitting the brakes at first is Johnson. A single for him, first hit of the afternoon.
Nice play by Brini to hold him at first, as that was ripped down the right field line.
Johnson, again, I talked about it. He had felt frustrated with the way these Newport games have gone. And he had a great batting practice. He was able to finally rip one down and keep this inning going.
Mark Willie now at the plate, takes a fastball down by the feet, ball 1. Willie, the 7th batter of the inning. That grand slam from pinch hitter Drew Crone has made things much more interesting. That's well inside for a ball. Here in the top of the 6th inning. Throw down to first, back in time was Johnson. I think Mystic knows at this point in the season to be careful about that, Andrew.
Yeah, it's bitten them a few times today, more than a few times during the doubleheader. Newport hangs their hat on those pickoffs.
A looper down the line, and it bounced, so a foul ball, or else it would have been potential double play. You never know had that stayed fair. So a 2-1 count to Willie, who struck out both times at the plate thus far. Olsch deals, fastball just misses inside, borderline pitch.
Willie's got some power in his bat as well. Good at roping hits down the line.
5 of the 17 hits are doubles as he fouls that one off his leg and it redirected right towards Olsch on the mound.
UMass Amherst product was part of the Red Sox scout team back in 2021. He was the top-ranked first baseman in Massachusetts as well. All-star designated hitter in the Futures League with the Bravehearts as well.
Yes, that's where he spent last summer with the Bravehearts in the Futures League. Full count pitch. And another one. Close, but not quite in the zone. What a take from Willie. And 2 runners are on for Mystic. Cheeky De La Cruz, the next batter, represents the tying run, believe it or not, for the Schooners.
Olsch thought he had that. I think he kind of gave a look back to the home plate umpire, but agree to disagree on that, and now a big moment for Cheeky De La Cruz.
De La Cruz, I talked about it. Somebody who is struggling more than any way you could imagine for a long time, and now has really picked things up. You saw it on that double before. Renewed confidence shown from him.
Interesting move by De La Cruz to show bunt. Obviously want to get to the top of the order and advance the runners and a chance to tie this game.
Very interesting situation with 1 out and 2 on for Mystic. Remember, it's a 7-inning game. So the Schooners down to their final 5 outs. This is hit on the bounce. Step on third from Doyle across the diamond. How about a double play? Beautifully executed by Jack Doyle over at third. And Newport limits the damage after a grand slam from Drew Crone made this a 3-run ball game. We go to the bottom of the 6th at 7-4 Newport.
In times of war, peace, and every day in between, our military stays vigilant to protect our country. At Hope for the Warriors, we never forget them or the families who serve alongside them. Since 2006, Hope for the Warriors has provided life-transforming programs for active duty and veterans, military families and caregivers, families of the fallen. Go to hopeforthewarriors.org to give hope today.
Well, it's a sunny day, as you can see here in Newport, and a day in which a Zephyr cap comes in handy. Zephyr is the official on-field cap of the NECBL, also known as the Z-Hat. Zephyr is the authentic college hat with over 800 colleges and channels that same energy and creativity into building custom hats of all types for pro sports teams, clothing brands, and companies everywhere. Make sure you pick up your Newport Gulls official on-field cap today. Kean Saylor back out there on the mound. No surprise for the Schooners. And as we go to this bottom of the 6th, Andrew, it's a whole different ball game where it was 7-0, but then that Drew Crone grand slam made it 7-4. Remember, it's a 7-inning game here as we go to the bottom of the 6th. And now all of a sudden, you know, you have that belief if you're the Schooners, despite going all the way to the point where you had to put Kean Saylor on the mound to pitch.
Yeah, I mean, we said it off air. All of these Schooners Gulls games, it felt like, have had home runs that have brought the Schooners right back in it. 2 of them coming in the first innings on Saturday. This one and the Nick Solorzano one bringing them back in it late in the first and last games at Cardines. But now it's at a point where I can finally do what I love to do, Sam. You've heard me go on this a bit. But if they hadn't wasted some of those opportunities with runners on, this could be even closer.
It's true. Might be a little bit hard to believe considering it was just a 7-0 ball game, but even at the end of last inning, the Schooners, stranding a couple, had the tying run at the plate. Matt Ossenfort cranks the heck out of this ball, and you can say goodbye. Oh, Lord. Matt Ossenfort with his 4th homer of the summer, and it was obliterated.
We just watched a murder in front of all the kids here. Ossenfort commits a murder. He murders that fastball, and he murders the rally.
Absolute, no doubt about it. Up and in, turns on it, straight over the ivy. And that thing got out in a hurry.
That's one way to answer back if you're Newport. Now an 8-4 ball game in the bottom of the 6th inning with Randy Seymour at the dish. Off the end of the bat, it's fouled. Wow, what a home run there from Ossenfort, who had that clutch deep fly in the game at Martha's Vineyard, as it's now a 2-1 count. He hit that in the 9th inning to tie it up before Newport ultimately went on to lose that game. That was back on Friday. Fouled off to the right side by Seymour and well out of play. All even with the count at 2-2. And that slipped out of the hand of Saylor for a ball.
So there are some defensive changes here. Drew Crone heads out to center. Dela Cruz moves in to short, taking over for Jack Goodman, who Crone replaced as a pinch hitter.
Thank you for that clarification, as Seymour takes ball 4 and reaches base for the first time tonight. So De La Cruz has now played center, second, and short in this game.
Might as well have him play third, first, catch, pitch.
Exactly.
It's that kind of day.
It is. Carmelo Musakia at the plate for Newport now. Down in the dirt at 83. Ball 1 from Saylor. Looped foul. It's a 1-1 count for Carmelo Musakia, who was walked in the 2nd and the 4th, lined out in the 3rd. Swings through the 3rd pitch. In fact, it was tipped into the mitt of Davis Johnson. Still nobody out. An 8-4 Newport lead. And a good eye from Musakia as the count goes level. You can probably hear some of the wind howling through. Musakia gets over this one and
Watch out for the wind.
Lands back towards the line, and it's dropped. Mark Willie, to your point, Brendan, battling the wind, had to backtrack at the last second, couldn't make a play on it. That ball quickly veered towards the field of play.
Exactly, right.
If that had dropped fair, it actually would have hurt the Gulls, as the Schooners could have potentially doubled them up there, as the runners would have to have moved, and the ball was right there.
Good point. Chopper foul off to the left side. Hitting coach Ted Regan snatching that baseball, observing it for a little bit. He's going to keep it for now. On the ground is short. Dela Cruz in his new position turns to second, over to first. Not in time. Forced off the bag was Mark Willie, so Musakia reaches on a fielder's choice. Seymour, the lead runner, retired for the first out.
Well, it would have been a bit more conventional double play than the hypothetical I was explaining, but too much speed there from Musakia sets up Jack Doyle.
We saw Austin Ford hit a home run to lead off this inning. Doyle did the same in the second for a 2-run shot. Fouling off the first pitch, which ricochets into the field of play out and left. A Mystic pitcher will claim that baseball. Oh, 1 to Doyle. Swing and a miss at a 76-mile-an-hour offering. Jack Doyle spent last summer in the Appalachian League with the Bluefield Ridge Runners down in West Virginia. Breaking ball slipped out of the hand of Saylor. We've seen that happen a couple of times now. The 2 summers before that, Doyle was with the Brockton Rocks and the Futures. So this is a guy with plenty of summer ball experience, a rising senior at Northeastern. Compare that to some younger players on the team like Aiden Coleman, Nolan Stevens, who are rising sophomores. This is their first summer experiencing summer ball and the grind that it is. There's a heavy cut and miss from Doyle as he strikes out.
Well, it's designed that way. It's designed to identify who's able to play playing basically every day, unlike a college schedule where you have days off and you have your assigned Friday starter, Saturday starter, Sunday starter. This is designed to emulate professional baseball where you play 162 games.
Foul over to the left side by Brini. I guess theoretically speaking, the most games you can play in any CBL season is 53. If you get all 44 in of your regular season and then you go the distance with every round going 3 games, Newport will end up playing 43 regular season games. That one rides in on Brini, almost nicked him.
69 miles an hour.
Mystic will likely end up playing also 43, but that depends on the rain tomorrow.
Inside again, 2-1. That time up to 83 out of the left hand of Saylor. Taking off is Musakia. He slides in, and the throw forced De La Cruz to come in, and so successful stolen bag for Musakia, who's in the scoring position with 2 outs.
Once again, the Gulls swipe another bag, and they've found a lot of success on the base paths this afternoon.
Brini swings at this pitch, loop to left field. It's into no man's land, and a diving play, the catch made. No hat, no problem. What a play out and left by Young to end the inning. So we go to the 7th and final inning of this condensed ball game. It's Newport with the 8-4 lead. Back for the finish after this as we take a look at the replay here. Scotty Young lost the hat, but a diving effort by the left fielder. You got to tip your cap for that one. We're back for the final frame in a moment. We roll on to the 7th and final inning between the Schooners and the Gulls. 8-4, Newport with the lead. And Brendan, our lovely PA announcer Don was explaining to everyone, which we should as well, why this game is 7 innings. And that's because Mystic has another game later today against Ocean State.
Ocean State, I believe it's in Wakefield, as Don said.
That's true.
Which is true. He does know that it's in Wakefield. Yeah, so the condensed game, the 7-inning game, and we're rolling on here. Final 3 outs potentially for the Schooners.
2 hours and 25 minutes in. Kean Saylor, he can pitch, he can hit. He's at the plate here. Lofts it down the left field line. 2 goals in the area, and a sliding grab made by the shortstop, Randy Seymour.
Great play there, but for the Schooners, they're worse 2-team double play headers to have. Luckily, the 2 closest teams in the league to each other.
Yeah.
Newport and Ocean State. It's all on the way home.
That's true. It could be worse.
That's not bad at all for me, a Rhode Island native. It's on my way back from Newport anyway.
There you go.
It could be worse.
First pitch to Solorzano, fouled off.
This is actually even better for me than a home game, because I'm in between the Waves and the Schooners, so not bad at all for me.
There you go.
It all works out for you, despite a long day, nonetheless. Outside, it's 1-1 to Solorzano, and as you can see, Mason Olsch, the hope is he takes the goals to the finish line here to close out Newport's 2024 regular season. Curveball misses just outside at 75.
That was a nice pitch from Olsch.
Goes with more velo here, and it was tipped 2-2. We do have an update in game 1 of that doubleheader between Bristol and Valley. It's still the top of the first inning, and the Blues have taken a 6-0 lead.
Massive for the Schooners.
Absolutely, and that would secure the West Division for Bristol. So if that result holds, Bristol's locked into the 3. We already know Newport's locked into the 2. Vermont locked into the 1. Swing and a miss from Solorzano. Olsch records the strikeout, his second since coming in last inning. Schooners down to their final out of the ball game. They entered the day knowing that if they won one of their 2 games today, that they would clinch a playoff spot. But they're one more out away from having to wait till tonight's trip to Ocean State to do that. Jaden Hilton, the last hope for Mystic, takes the ball outside. (1-0). Lofted to deep left field. This towards the fence, and it's out of here. It clipped the tree, I do believe, and Jaden Hilton's solo shot extends this game. We're not done yet, ladies and gentlemen.
Jaden Hilton, some more power off that bat. He has been a fantastic addition to this group. They're actually playing his walk-up song right now, 3 Little Birds. I don't know if that's inadvertent. Trying to tell the hitters to calm down instead. Playing his song on his trip around the bases. It's back to a 3-run ball game.
That was 100% wind aided. That was just a liner that carried into the trees. And we've seen the wind play effect number of times. 100% wind aided on that home run.
It's been a home run heavy type of game, as Maddox Delana is now the batter for the Schooners, facing a 1-1 count against Mason Olsch. On the ground to the right side of the infield. Will this end it? Musaki's throw in time. That's the ball game. The Newport Gulls end its regular season on a positive note. An 8-5 victory over the Mystic Schooners means the Gulls finish the regular season 7-0. against their Coastal Division foes. 8-5, the final at Cardines.
Just more dominance from these Newport Gulls over the Mystic Schooners, who need a good bounce back tonight against the Waves. Their situation gets murkier and murkier as it goes, so they can't afford to keep losing.
The Schooners will have yet another chance to clinch a playoff berth if they take down the Waves tonight. They'll travel to Ocean State in a few minutes, really. Meanwhile, the Newport Gulls, Brendan, that's it for their regular season. They lock in the number 2 seed, and it will be, as you see on your screen, a playoff game here on Thursday, game 1 of their first round series. First pitch is 6:35 against an opponent yet to be determined. It's got to be exciting for the Gulls, getting that 2 seed with playoff baseball right around the corner.
Yeah, and there's no place you would rather be this time of year. The Gulls rolled through the regular season, a couple of hiccups for a week or two that we would see for times, but for all in all, for the 2 months that the Gulls, they were just as good as anybody in the league, and we knew that their A game can match up with anybody, and it should be a fun playoff run.
Yeah, absolutely. We're looking forward to bringing it to you again. That'll be Thursday night, game 1 here at Cardines Field. We'll have it for you on ESPN+. We don't know what opponent Newport will be going up against. And a reminder of that playoff format, it's 3 rounds, each round best of 3 series. And nothing official yet for Mystic, but a chance for them to finally secure that playoff berth in their second game of the day later today at the Ocean State Waves. Well, as always, a huge thanks to our executive producer of the NECBL on ESPN Plus in PJ Moynihan, as well as our in-house producer doing fantastic work as always, Tom Lima, as well as our director, Mike Basile, and all of our hard-working members behind the scenes, including our camera operators who had to battle some baseballs today. Shout out Chris Tring. As always, a pleasure working with you guys. For my partners, Brendan Locke and Andrew Fiore, pleasure as always, gentlemen. I'm Sam Reese saying so long from Cardines Field, where the Newport Gulls wrap up their regular season campaign with an 8-5 victory over the Mystic Schooners to complete the season sweep over Mystic. All games airing on the ESPN networks are streaming live and archived on the ESPN app. This has been a presentation of ESPN. The Newport Gulls end the regular season on a positive note. 8-5 the final as Newport takes down Mystic before the playoffs get underway in a couple of days. I'm joined by Nick Dorito now. Nick, you go out there as the starter today. I mean, obviously you're one of the featured bullpen arms throughout the summer. You had made 11 appearances out of the pen before, but only had gone as far as 2 1/3 innings because you're a bullpen guy. So how was it having that new role as a starter tonight, and you go out there and dominate with 5 scoreless innings?
Felt good. You know, I started at school, so it's something I'm used to, and so it just felt really good to be able to get into a groove and prepare for this start.
And how important was it? I mean, you guys knew heading into this game that you had locked in the 2 seed, so not a whole lot on the line per se in terms of the result of this game, but what did it say about the team for you to go out there and dominate, for the offense to do its thing, and to get a win to give you guys kind of some momentum heading into the postseason?
Yeah, it just kind of sets a tone for the playoffs that every game matters, even, you know, when this one technically doesn't, that, you know, we come out every day and just play hard.
And for you, even though, you know, you started tonight or today, I should say, an afternoon game here at Cardines, you're usually a bullpen arm. Either way, to go out and dominate the way you did, how much does that give you personally confidence heading into the postseason where you're bound to be utilized as well?
Yeah, it feels great. You know, just building off this will be really fun in the playoffs. Get something going.
Absolutely. And one last question for you. What does it say about the pitching staff in particular, where you've lost a total of 6 guys for a variety of reasons, whether that was Colby being drafted, you know, some guys being shut down by their colleges, now down to just 14 pitchers on the staff, but to kind of persevere and battle through even though you guys have been thin?
Yeah, I mean, it means a lot. You know, we got depth. We got guys out of the pen that can, you know, do stuff every day. So I think it's just relying on one another and trusting it.
Absolutely. All right, thanks so much for the time. That's Nick Dorito, a dominant 5-inning performance on the mound today for Newport. The playoffs up next. Game 1 against an opponent to be determined. We'll be right here at Cardines Field on Thursday, 6:35 first pitch.